is it?
Welcome back into the Gaithersburg Giants broadcast network here at Criswell Automotive Field. Brief technical difficulties getting the stream up tonight, but we are back and in action. The 10-13 Giants playing host to the 11-12 Alexandria Aces. Some Tuesday night baseball going on here at Kelly Park. I'm Ian Harper, my broadcast partner Colin Smith. How are we doing tonight, Colin?
Doing good, doing good. The heat's starting to creep in as we're ready to cap off the month of June. Really exciting matchup today. Aces, historically one of those really good squads out of the Cal Ripken League, in and out every single year. So definitely a great opportunity for this Giants squad that we saw put up 10 runs last night. So they struggled coming into that game. It was 3 runs without getting one to touch home plate. They did it 10 times last night. Let's see if those bats can stay hot. I'm sure manager TJ Brockway would love to see his team get going here as we turn the calendar to July.
Absolutely. First part of that, though, we'll be putting up a zero. Tonight's pitcher on the mound for the Giants, Alex Bergen. His first 2 pitches to Elijah Grant, the leadoff man for the Aces, both out of the zone. So trying to get back in, kicks, fires that one, check swung, bounced over there to shortstop. Dominic Trujillo on the run, gets it, picks it up, fires, but not in time. Just mentioned the speed from Grant last time these two played here. Grant had 2 stolen bases, was an absolute demon on the base paths. Definitely something that the Giants are going to want to contain tonight.
Certainly going to have to watch out for the base paths. We talked about on the mound. The mound last night was dominated by Owen Singer. He really was able to get first 2 outs, start off that game. We didn't see a lot of base runners for him to face. He was scoreless through 6. So the bullpen maybe starting to come alive here. This pitching staff starting to get ready for this Gaithersburg team, and let's see what Bergen can do to continue that.
Bergen's first pitch now, that one just a click outside. Jackson Scrow, the shortstop for the Aces, now stepping in, taking a quick look at Bergen's season-long line. 1-1 record, 4 appearances, 1 start, 6.52 ERA across 9 2/3 innings. Grant takes off, ball is called a strike. Throw in there is just not in time. Was a good throw from Ryan Stranad behind the plate, but the speed of Grant just too much, and Lee Turnipseed's tag a split second too late. So very quickly, runner in scoring position now for the Aces, finishing it back up with Bergen's line. 6.52 ERA across 9 2/3 innings, 14 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 9 walks, 6 strikeouts. Has given up the 1 home run on the season. The 1-1 pitch is outside. Sophomore from Gettysburg, Maryland native, goes to Gettysburg, 5'9", 160 pounds. Definitely, obviously can't hold him to the same standard as Singer did last night of 6 innings of no-run ball, but would love to see another strong start out of the righty tonight. Another one got it toward the left side. That one fielded cleanly, fired to first. Phillips over there at first, fielding the play after the solid throw from Drew Jordan. So Grant's speed gets him into third, but the first out of the game is recorded on the ground ball.
Shows you how important that stolen base was, the fact that Grant's already got himself to the third corner. You saw a little bit of a hesitation there. They thought they might try to get him. He held up the run. It was a strong decision from him to hold it up in the middle, maybe try to get his guy back on first. But as you find yourself 90 feet away from home, just start this game, it's a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, this is kind of what we saw out of Grant last time these two played, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. This is a guy that you talk about plus speed. You know, MLB draft, kind of how they rank it, is you have the 20 to 80 sliding scale. This is a guy that's 70 at the very least. He's a 70 or 80 speed kind of guy. He's someone that can absolutely change a game with his legs. And just even letting him get on to first, you see guys in the MLB like the Billy Hamiltons from a few years ago, like the Pete Crow Armstrongs now, that once you let them on first, just all hell breaks loose, and that's something that we've already seen Grant do today. As that pitch blown by Hunter White, so the first baseman tonight for the Aces, hitting .356 with a .461 on-base percentage across 73 at-bats for the Aces this season. 2 home runs, 18 RBIs, so formidable hitter in the 3 spot. That fastball just missed a click outside. Count evens back up at 2-2. Would love a strikeout here from Bergen. He delivers that one just up and inside. So the count runs full now. Bergen to White with Grant on third. 3-2-1 across the board. Bergen's pitch, that one way outside. Easy take for White, so he will take his base. First free pass of the game allowed by Bergen, an issue that has definitely come to light at a few moments this season.
That's a tough spot right there. You have one out on the board. You'd love to see your second one if you could put one across the zone. Instead, now you have the corners loaded here early in the first. And if you're Gaithersburg, you don't want to be giving up a run here in the first inning. But with a guy like Grant out there on third, and now White out there on first, it's going to get themselves into a pinch. See how they can try to execute.
Yeah, for those of you that were listening to last night's broadcast, the main thing we talked about is the Giants breaking out of some of the slumps and patterns they've gotten themselves into over these past few days and weeks. But one pattern from last night that I would love to see emerge here is getting those inning-ending double plays. They recorded 2 last night, got them out of 2 jams, 1 ground ball, could end it here. That one going to be flicked foul over the first base side. So quickly 0-2 now from Bergen to the cleanup man, left fielder Daniel McGinnis. McGinnis definitely not a slouch in the 4 spot, hitting .392 on the season, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. So from pretty good to even better in the 3-4 hole for the Aces. Bergen does have a chance to put him away and keep that runner on third. His 0-2 barely got a piece there, did McGinnis. Good off-speed pitch, just slider broke away out of the zone. McGinnis, fooled from the jump, had to reach into the left side batter's box, but able to stay alive there.
Yeah, he's glad with that reach to keep this at-bat alive. Knew he couldn't get to the full strength to it, but, you know, a little bit of a foul tip. He likes the contact. Can he add to his team-leading RBI total right here?
Definitely something he's found a lot of success for them this season. Bergen tried a very similar pitch, kind of the same spot, maybe a little bit more inside, definitely a foot or 2 above where the last one was, but McGinnis thought about it, did end up holding back. So first ball of the count, 1-2 now, first and third, 1 out, Bergen to McGinnis. That one, fastball blown right by him, huge out number 2 there for Bergen. Keeps the runner stranded, now 1 out away from getting out of this early jam.
That can help with a lot of the confidence there if you're Bergen. We mentioned you let the corners get loaded, but then you get your first K of the day. With that, it's something that you can start to build. You don't have to worry about as much as the guy out on third now as you're just 1 out away.
Yeah, and something we've kept consistently talking about on this broadcast is with the Giants offense putting up those 10 runs last night, definitely something you want to see out of them more. But that offensive explosion really hasn't come recently, nor has the consistency. So putting up a 0 here in the top of the first would be crucial. That one shot over to the right side. Under the diving turnip seed, Grant comes home easily. Good piece of 2 out heading there from the DH, Matthew Pazak, and the Aces are quickly on the board.
Really impressive effort there from the Aces. You know, you get to the 2 outs that I mentioned, but nothing is holding back from Pazak. He takes his time, has a really deep stance in the box, so he just let that one come to him, puts his designated hitting to work, sending it right up the middle.
Yeah, definitely a solid piece hitting there. Inning does extend. Brad Larson, the left-handed right fielder, stepping up into the box, fouls the first pitch he sees back into the mitt. Larson, a junior attending Wofford College, where he plays his baseball over the course of the collegiate school year. Looking to do some more 2-out damage, takes that one in for a strike. So all business here from Bergen after allowing that last run. First 2 pitches, both fastballs across the heart of the plate, really just going straight at Larson with 2 outs.
We'll see what Bergen can do to attack this inning without allowing any more tallies up on the scoreboard.
Pazak and White, the 2 base runners. Bergen trying to end the inning, that one low. Good idea there from the righty. First off-speed pitch that he did throw to Larson, but buried that one a little bit too low. Not a bad waist pitch, though, I would say.
Just trying to get his foot away. It's not the worst effort to see if you can get a guy chasing.
Bergen with the 1-2. Fastball misses out. Seeing some good 2-strike batting here from the Aces in this top of the first inning. A lot of extended ABs. Guys, even if they're not resulting in hits, just being able to keep those at-bats going, get the pitch count for Bergen up. And it's kind of what has really created some of this havoc here early on.
Yeah, their discipline is what has got them to this situation. We'll see what Larson can do.
That one skied into shallow left field. Closing on it, has an eye on it, is Bennett Siegel. Siegel puts that one away, so 1 run for the Aces in the top of the first. 1 run on 2 hits. We head now to the bottom of the first. Going to take a quick break here. Back in 1 moment on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Back here on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. 1 run scored in the top of the first inning by the Alexandria Aces. Giants stepping up for their first ABs of the night. More on the sophomore from Fordham on the mound for the Aces. Tell them about him, Colin.
Yeah, Brian Gonzalez takes the bump today for the Aces. He's a guy who's had 4 appearances so far, so not that much. He's 9.2 innings pitched, 7.45 ERA, but something that the Giants could look out for is this guy has 10 walks across his time so far in the Collegiate Summer League. So if you can have strong plate discipline, get yourself into those 3-ball counts, watch out for that. Could come into play for this Giants squad.
Yeah, Giants leadoff hitter Dominic Trujillo taking the first pitch he sees on the outside corner for a strike. Trujillo seeing some extended time here at the top or near the top of the order as of late, something that he hadn't seen at the beginning of the year. Season-long stat line, 278 average, 341 OBP, 375 slugging. So does have the 1 home run, does have 19 strikeouts though, as opposed to just 5 walks. So the whiffs have been an issue for the righty. See if he can evade that and get some damage going here, lead off this one. Good looking off-speed pitch right there. Just absolute airbender on that one quickly. Now 1-2 for O'Brien Gonzalez on Trujillo. See where he goes with here. That one, similar looking pitch. Tried to put it a little bit more to the outside. Trujillo did a good job of adjusting there. Stays alive now, so count remains 1-2.
Trujillo wants to stay in this at-bat. You talked about the struggles that he might have when it comes to strikeouts, so just continuing it with foul tips, try to battle himself back into this one. And like I mentioned, you can start to see some balls from Gonzalez as we go deeper in at-bats.
The sophomore from Seton Hall puts one on the ground towards third. Easy play over there, firing across is Miles Prusek, recording the first out of the game. So pretty easy play there. One up, one down for O'Brien Gonzalez. Taking a quick look at the defense behind him for the Aces. From right to left in the infield, it's Hunter White, William Burkaw, Jackson Scrow, and Miles Kruzek. Outfield left to right, Daniel McGinnis. In center, Elijah Grant, and then Brad Larson in right field, Schraden Lechtenberg behind the plate for Alexandria. First pitch, Lee Turnipseed takes that one in there for strike one. So pounding the zone early and often here is O'Brien Gonzalez.
Yeah, so far he's been getting it across the plate just where he wants it. It's a really strong first out there from Alexandria, really setting the pace with that one.
Turnipseed going on that pitch. Got 2 straight good ones to hit. Took the first one. That one just rattled straight back into the screen. So second batter of the game, second straight one with a 2-strike count.
Hard to get settled if you're Turnipseed immediately find yourself in the 0-2. Yeah, he finds contact on the last one, but now he's dancing with one out already on the board.
Turnipseed on the 0-2. That one, bat might have broke, kind of a roller past the mound. Speed will beat it out though, so no play at second by Burkaw. Anyway, anyhow is what I've heard from countless travel ball coaches in my time playing baseball. And Turnipseed, for an offense, as we mentioned last night, really trying to get it going. Those are the kind of ABs, especially early in games, that can really kind of provide you kind of spark.
Yeah, you might hit a dribbler up the infield right there and feel like, you know, it's hot. It's June 30th. I don't need to run it out. But that's a hard 90 from Turnipseed that gets him to first base. And, you know, that could be a difference maker right there. And that's, when you're in the Collegiate Summer League, you're trying to work on your game. And, you know, I think your base running is a part of that. Coaches are going to see that. Coaches are going to see that you have a higher on base percentage because you were able to leg out a little dribbler up the infield.
Yeah, Turnipseed, not someone with the legs that Grant has over on the Alexandria side, but definitely a player who we've seen in the past make his impact known on the base paths through pass balls, wild pitches, straight steals, doing some different things. Brady Ruiz-Weiss, a laser into the right field corner. Turnipseed flying around second, being waved around home. The relay, nowhere near it. Turnipseed in there, throw goes into third. And how about Brady Ruiz-Weiss evening it at 1 with a 1-out triple?
Yeah, the Yale Bulldog right there with the stand-up triple. Another guy with impressive speed, so you know when he gets his bat behind the ball, puts that right into the right field corner, dips behind it, almost to a view that you and I can't even see it anymore. Just kind of like, it looked like a golf shot. He had great shot creation on it. Just curled right into the back, and Brady Ruiz-Weiss, the Yale Bulldog, smart guy in the classroom, but also a pretty smart baseball player.
And I mean, you know, maybe he heard us up here talking about Turnipseed speed and was like, you know what, whatever you can do, I can do better. So didn't even give Turnipseed a chance to make his wheels known, and was pretty much after he hit that, I'm getting to third, you're getting to home whether you like it or not. So quick damage there for the Bulldog, as you mentioned, but stepping into the box now, Aiden Phillips, seeing most of his time this year in the 3-hole, moves down 1 spot into the cleanup. 1-0 count, runner on third with just 1 down for him. Grounds that one over there on the left side, so count back to 1-1 for Phillips. It's just a smooth, sweet, powerful swing there from Ruiz-Weiss in that last at bat. I mean, wasted no time, jumped on that pitch. Like you said, that just golf kind of swing really elevated it into that corner, just shot it down the line, creating that damage here earlier. This one popped up onto the infield. A collision between Phillips and O'Brien Gonzalez, but some good play between contact there for the pitcher as he makes that catch in foul ground. A big second out there for the righty.
Incredible focus there from O'Brien Gonzalez. You know, I don't think he was quite happy that he made contact with Aiden Phillips, but Aiden Phillips was doing his shot going just right up the line, so you can't get upset at him for it. Maybe it was a little slower, you know, trying to get in the way and try to create as much havoc as he could. But great focus from the pitcher, you know, showing that he can't just throw it. He can also go out there and make a catch when he needs to.
Yeah, athletic play from the guy over there on the mound. So, first pitch throw now to Drew Jordan is in there for an easy strike. That one right down Main Street. Chess match here in the bottom of the first inning. Well, off speed looks good from up here, but just bended below the zone. Drew Jordan, first at bat of the season here, if our stats are correct. So, instantly thrust into what is a big spot with a runner on third and 2 down. O'Brien Gonzalez ahead in the count, 1-2, looking to strand Ruiz Weiss on third. This one grounded to third, another easy play over there, fires to first. Plenty of time there, Pruzak with the easy play, so Giants even the score at 1 on the Ruiz Weiss triple, but O'Brien Gonzalez gets out of it without allowing any more damage. More action in the top of the second inning when we come back on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. So an eventful first inning here at Criswell Automotive Field at Kelly Park. 1-1 score between the Gaithersburg Giants and the Alexandria Aces. Now, Colin, one thing as this inning opens I really want to talk to you about. We see kind of now in the new age of sports, new age, like really any sport, these athletic freaks, guys that 6'5", 250, can do it all, kind of really athletic. Seeing some of the pitchers like Garrett Crochet, Tarek Skubal, just these massive guys able to get it done with some high 90s fastballs. But here you got a guy in Alex Bergen, 5'9", 160. Not a traditional pitcher's build, but what have you seen out of his mechanics? What have you seen so far tonight from him? It really shows you kind of what he's able to do with that smaller frame, but still generate some success.
You know, he's got that high leg kick, I think, that brings his velocity down. You know, with a forward momentum, bringing himself to the play, you got to capitalize on every, little kink you could find within your stance and in your game. If, again, you don't have that big frame that, you think of, the Mizorowski, and how high he can have that release point they talk about. It's like he's basically just handed it over the plate with how long his arms are. So, these smaller pitchers, if you're a batter in the box, you might be seeing that ball a little faster because the release point is there, but it's a different mechanic. If he's a little shorter, he's a little lower to the ground, he might be finding your zone a little bit stronger than, a taller pitcher might.
Yeah, head 1-2 now on the leadoff man, the catcher, Schraden Lichtenberg. I love that you mentioned that because it's such an interesting thing just watching night in and night out in a collegiate summer league like the Cal Ripken League, just seeing how different some of these players are and just seeing how kind of like no two players are alike, and there's just so much like player profile diversity between these players, and just really seeing how these elite athletic skill sets can really be represented in so many different ways. And you're seeing a guy like Bergen, who already just pounding the zone early in this one, did allow that run in the top of the first, but we've seen him have some success this year as Lichtenberg just kind of tosses that one back. So staying alive, 2-2 now. Lichtenberg, freshman at Blackhawk College. Got the little, don't know if that's light blonde hair or if he bleached it there, kind of sticking out the back of his helmet. Gotta love that. I've got a mullet going myself here the past few months, so love that long hair community getting going. But Lichtenberg will shoot this one way up into the air, ranging under it. Delon Anderson in center, he pulls it down, so 1 up, 1 down for Bergen in the second.
Yeah, and right there you see Lichtenberg sending that one just into the outfield. Luckily the sun not too much in the eyes of the center fielder there, because it is really bright out here in Gaithersburg. But Anderson finding that ball under it. Lichtenberg, he struggled a little bit. He's only 188 on the season, so still looking to get that bat going as much as he can.
Hey, talk about the sun. We did see a play last night where, ball just kind of gets flown up into shallow left field, and that sun setting over here behind the first base dugout kind of got in the way and resulted in a few runs for the Giants. So if it's going to make any impact, would love for it to be on the opposing defensive side. So hoping for some Sun friendliness here tonight as that ground ball picked pretty easily over there at first. Aiden Phillips takes it to the bag himself. So a pretty easy and efficient 2 outs now for Bergen, trying to settle down after that tumultuous first inning. Miles Burkaw now stepping up, 2 men out and nobody on.
Yeah, that was Prusik's first at-bat here in the Cal Ripken League so far, so probably not the most memorable one, grounding out and running up to first. Hopefully he looks to improve on his next one. Well, I say hopefully for his sake. You know, obviously we are the Gaithersburg Giants broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't mind if he went down 3 pitches. 1, 2, 3, good morning, good afternoon, good night next time. Here, the 9th hitter, Burkaw, with the bunt. Not the best one, though. Good play from the backstop. Ryan Strnad got out there, picked it up with his bare hand, fires it back over there to Phillips. So, easy 1, 2, 3 inning for Bergen in the second inning. Score still Alexandria Aces 1, Gaithersburg Giants 1. Back in a moment on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning here. Some Cal Ripken Baseball League action here. Gaithersburg Giants playing host to the Alexandria Aces. So this inning gets going, taking a look at how these two teams are stacking up going into this one. Gaithersburg 10-13, did win their last game last night, however 3-7 in their last 10, 6.5 games back of the first place only Crop Dusters in the North. Aces on a 2-game losing streak, 4-6 in their last 10, 5.5 games behind the Southern Maryland Senators. They're looking to get back to 500 on the night.
Only 3 teams in the Cal Ripken League that are above 500 right now, so certainly as we hit June 30th, very wide open, nothing in terms of the playoff race getting set whatsoever.
Seeing a lot of pop flies here early in this one. That one hauled down by the third baseman, Pruzak. Bennett Siegel retired for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Ryan Strnad. Saw him finish off the last inning with a nifty bare hand play to get the 2-out bunt attempt out. So, seen his first at-bat here of the night. Would love to see him get something going with 1 out and nobody on for the Giants in the bottom of the first. Second. First pitch taken way outside.
Not a guy with a 400 on base percentage, so a guy when he gets the batter's box, he certainly has a good chance of reaching first and manufacturing himself onto the baseline.
Yeah, big fan of the creativity from the lineup tonight from manager TJ Brockway, having Phillips move down. Phillips and Strnad, usually that 3-4 combination that's been the lifeblood of this Giants offense. Separating them obviously kind of lessens or at least weakens the on-paper production of the top of this lineup, but having him move down, obviously spreading out the production, could help in the long run. Putting up 1 run in the bottom of the first inning, already a good sign. So would love to see his vision continue to play out here.
Well, we saw yesterday, it was really the back half of the order that became kind of the dominating side for this Gaithersburg squad.
Giants continuing to test Prusek over there at third. That one, once again, easily play made over there. So Prusek, as you mentioned, first at bat of the 2026 season came in the last inning. So potentially first defensive action of the year as well. Tested a few times here early. Been up to the task every time so far. So, you know, Giants looking for a new kid to make a mistake, but has not broken yet. Logan Anderson in the 8-hole, the DH tonight. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Logan Powell, that is. No balls and 2 strikes. O'Brien looking to match what Bergen did in the top of this inning. His 0-2 pitch, that one up and in, ducking out of the way is Powell.
Well, I talked about in the pre-open about how Brian Gonzalez had a lot of walks coming into this one, and so far he's been really great at finding the zone, finding his stuff thus far. As I say that, we get a hit by pitch, so, you know, it might have been a little bit of a broadcaster's jinx on that.
I mean, you know what, there's never gonna... Yeah, I gotta respect the broadcast jinx, but if it's going for your team, always gotta love that. So, you know, maybe just slip in a few more things about how good this Aces team has been playing at certain points. Maybe we can get some more Giants runs across.
Yeah, I guess maybe I will have to start to slip those in. And Logan Powell, that's the second time he's been hit by a pitch this season, but he pairs in comparison to some guys like Aiden Phillips and Lee Turnspeed, who've already been hit by 3 pitches as we get ready to turn the calendar. So maybe he's starting to get up there. I wonder if they got, you know, kind of an in-house bet on who can eat the most at the plate this year.
Whoever gets hit the most, everyone else has to pay for their trips to the doctor's office. So could be a little bet going on in there. Obviously, we talked about what Ruiz Weiss did as we were talking about the speed of Turnip Seed last inning, immediately showing off his wheels. So, you know, maybe we see Delon Anderson kind of lean the shoulder in there, try and get back into that race on himself. So
get a quick check back here from O'Brien Gonzalez. It's the right-hander. He's got to be checking his backside so much when he's got a guy out there on first, especially when you hit a guy by pitch. You're just really unhappy that you've put him out there. Would love to get a pick off if you have the opportunity to.
Another strike taken for this Giants team. Let me mention kind of like the patience of this Giants team and how the walks have been an issue for O'Brien Gonzalez this year. Giants really not being as aggressive as we've seen them on some other nights, but so far he's been in and around the zone for most of the early stages of this one. So have to see if that game plan does change for Gaithersburg at all.
Certainly might have to adjust what you're doing if you're Gaithersburg, but in an early 1-1 game, can just stick to what you were thinking coming into it.
Nice little back foot breaking ball there. O'Brien Gonzalez sits down Anderson on strikes. So 1 base runner, no runs allowed, 1-1 score now. We head to the top of the 3rd inning between the Alexandria Aces and the Gaithersburg Giants. Once again, you are watching and listening to the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. 2 innings down, 7 to go here at Criswell Automotive Field at Kelly Park. This is the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. I'm Ian Harper, alongside me, my broadcast partner, the incredible Colin Smith. So, good game on our hands thus far. What are you seeing so far through 2 innings?
Well, I have to say, incredible. It's only my second time broadcast with you, but I'll take the compliment. And what I've seen so far is I like what I'm seeing from the pitchers, both of them. I know that we saw runs there in the first inning off of both of them, but we talked a little bit about Gonzalez and how he was dealing with some, walk issues, but he's come into it so far, and he's found a lot of over the plates, and he's really kept the Gaithersburg Giants at bay so far. And we're seeing more stuff now here from Bergen, and he's got himself in this 2-0 right here, but he's also been pretty impressive. We talked about how he might be that shorter guy, but he still has those impressive mechanics.
Yeah, falling behind 3-0 now. To the leadoff hitter, Elijah Grant, the one guy that you definitely do not want to give a free pass. Obviously, talking about shorter stature, Grant, not the tallest person himself in the box, but we've seen what he can do when he gets on base already after getting on in his first at-bat.
Grant really manufactured that run that's up on the board right now for Alexandria. He really did it all himself, got himself on base, stole second, found himself all the way over on third, and with just his speed around the base path, he was really the driving factor for it. And that's just a guy you love to have at the top of your lineup, somebody with the speed that he has, the base running capability he has, and see right there, that's a hard foul, so he has some swing power to him as well.
Yeah, it kind of gets back to that older school baseball, putting the fastest guys there at the top of the order, really just getting them on base and just letting them run. The 3-2 pitch, that one swung and a miss, so a great job to start off this inning. Fell behind 3-0, 3 straight strikes. Bergen sends Grant back to the dugout. That'll bring up Jackson Skro. Skro, first time up in the top of the first inning after Grant got on via the single. Ground out too short, did move up Grant to third, so 0 for 1 on his day. Bergen will try and sit him down for the second straight time. Working from that windup, Bergen's first pitch, that one misses outside, so falls behind 1-0 to the number 2 hitter. Skro, a junior at Haverford, so guy coming in here in the latter stages of his college career, still trying to get those reps, trying to prime for a big second half to his career over there at Haverford. That's where he chooses to continue to play his college ball, but works that pitch back in there for a strike. Definitely keeping it on the outside half of the plate through an at-bat and a half to Skro. Seeing that consistently here as another breaking ball misses outside. Bergen looking to keep things close here. It's 2-1 to Skro. Good off speed there. Got him way out in front of that one. Caught him swinging, so evens up the count back now at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 down.
Really good pitch selection there from Bergen, with that off speed, you mentioned it. Skro's got that back stance and just swung way too wide of it.
And got him swinging on the last at-bat, gets him looking here. So 2 up, 2 down, both via the K. 1 forward and 1 backward. Quick 2 outs for Bergen. Love that pitch there to finish off the at-bat.
Yeah, and Skro got his hands moving. He thought about it. Hindsight's 20/20. He probably wishes he swung through it if it was going to be called the strike.
Yeah, I love the way he manipulated that at-bat. Something we've seen a few different times. Saw it a lot last night from Singer, so love to see that continuation here tonight from the lefty to the righty. So, first pitch thrown to Hunter White in there for a strike. White worked a walk last time. Did get stranded on the base paths, so kept things where they were in the first. Swings through this one. No balls and 2 strikes. Potentially incredibly efficient inning on the horizon here for Bergen. Could he go for the 3 up, 3 down, all via the K? Just misses on that one. Some oohing and eyeing from people in the stands. Definitely the Giants faithful thought that one should have been called strike 3.
Giants dugout wanted to see that one as another K to end this inning.
Another chance to do just that here. This one gonna miss upstairs, so brings the count back to 2-2. Left-handed first baseman does have a home run against the Giants earlier this year. Put one out to dead left center field. Bergen once again looking for the punch out. That one flared over on the third base side, ranging way foul. So we'll do it again here on 2-2. Good fight being put up by White. Strnad setting up outside. That one missed inside, but did not miss the zone. So took the long way around to do it, but did end up sitting him down. 3 batters faced, 3 outs, all via the K. Alex Bergen striking out the side in the third. Giants due up to hit. Score still 1-1 here on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Back right after this. Top of the Giants lineup, stepping in here to hit. Second time through the order now, Dominic Trujillo starting things off. 1-1 ball game here, bottom of the third inning. Alex Bergen, 2 scoreless frames after giving up a run in the top of the first. O'Brien Gonzalez looking to match him here.
It's pretty funny, both the Aces and the Giants both went through 2 full lineups in the first 2 innings.
Defense has been from Miles Pruzek in his first game here. That one through the glove of the third baseman, rolls into left field. So leadoff single for Trujillo. Giants have a man on with nobody out.
Yeah, just really impressive Trujillo. He took off. He thought about 2 there for a minute. You know, that would have been maybe a little too risky, maybe a little too ambitious to get this one through. But once again, we talked about Grant, the great leadoff guy for the Aces. Trujillo get himself on the base path. You know, that's what you need from your guy. And then, you know, let some power come up behind him and try to manufacture the run support coming in.
Yeah, great timing for it, too. First inning, this is where we saw Lee Turnipseed have that single, followed by a Brady Ruiz-Weiss triple that sent him home. So the part of the order that's really kind of generated the offense so far today, now both of these guys, or at least Turnipseed, up with a man on and nobody down. So prime spot for the Giants to generate some more offense. No balls, 1 strike. O'Brien Gonzalez delivered that one way inside. Turnipseed getting out of the way of that one. Count evens up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Turnipseed, a guy, 53 at-bats, well, 54 with his 1 already in this game, and just a guy with 17 hits on the season, so, you know, really good guy to have in your lineup alongside that speed that we saw that Ruiz-Weiss was able to drive all the way around the base path.
Yeah, got some speed, but definitely on that one was not looking for a single on that swing. Hefty cut there, swings through it. So down 1-2 now. Definitely would love to see him just do a job here, at the very least, advance that runner to second. Get a guy in scoring position for Ruiz-Weiss, who's already got that 1 extra base hit on the day. The 1 and 2 strike offering. This one wrapped around now over to first. Should do the job. Pitcher covering over there. Nice connection between White and O'Brien Gonzalez. So they get the first out over there at first. But the swinging bunt does move Trujillo up 90 feet. So Ruiz Weiss, after that sweet left-handed swing that drove home Turnip Seed in the last at-bat, now up with a man in scoring position.
Definitely really impressive for a guy like Ruiz Weiss to have men scoring position this time around with already an RBI on the day. But I want to talk a little bit about O'Brien Gonzalez's defense so far. We saw him have that impressive flyout when he was able to contact on the base path. And that one hustling over to first. So he's reminded everybody that pitchers are athletes too.
As pitcher myself, definitely something that, saw a few times last night, maybe the opposite being represented. So love to see, even if it's not for our team, still seeing that agenda get represented here tonight. But
there was definitely some struggles defensively in terms of that middle infield and the pitch. We saw a couple pass balls. We saw some bases not get covered that led to, some really unfortunate mistakes, unforced errors that, I'm sure were talked about in the post-game discussion from each of the respective managers.
That's for sure. Ruiz Weiss, though, down 0-2. Love the kind of sequencing, obviously not for our team, but some objectively good sequencing there on the first 2 pitches, taking care of that aggressiveness, that inside breaking ball, outside changeup. See where he digs into his bag of tricks here. The 0-2 pitch, another breaking ball, shot into the same spot as last time. Getting the wave home is Trujillo. The throw to the plate will not be in time. Good base running from Ruiz Weiss to get into second. 2 extra base hits. And now Colin only 2+ innings into this one. But a triple and a double. I'm smelling cycle alert.
Cool. That's we're talking about, we'll have to. We've had a couple broadcast jinx though, so I don't know if it goes before or against it if we bring it up. But I'll say that looked like almost identical from Ruiz Weiss. Just really impressive from Ruiz Weiss, and as well on that base path. Caesar sending it home, says I can go get myself in scoring position and set up some even more run support.
And another base hit now. Phillips rockets one into left field. Ruiz Weiss getting the wave home. Throw comes into second, so the Gaithersburg Giants plated 2 runs now in the bottom of the third. 3-1 lead, wasting no time on that one was Phillips.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the fastest up and downs from the dugout all the way around the base path, not via home run and back to the dugout from Ruiz Weiss. Gets up and finds himself all the way back home. And that shows, going back to what I was talking about, his base running, seeing that one go home, found himself in scoring position, extending this lead for the Giants, and all of a sudden, they've uncorked the bats and they're ready to go.
As Jordan steps up here for his second at-bat of the night. Really do want to kind of harp on what we just saw from Ruiz Weiss. Any young hitters either in attendance at the ballpark or watching the game at home, it is just perfect hitting, perfect adjustments there. As Phillips takes off here, the ball is up high. Throw not in time, so Aiden Phillips, the big man, taking second. But yeah, Ruiz Weiss, you saw on the first at-bat, early in the count, got a pitch he could hit, unloaded on it into right field. This at-bat, similar spot, but with 2 strikes. You really saw him shorten up that swing. Didn't have as much power behind it, but just quick bat to the ball, dinked that or dumped it into right field. Still hit pretty hard, but just shortening that up, being able to make sure he got to the ball, making contact. Those are the kind of 2-strike adjustments that any young hitter out there watching this one really that's what's going to take your game to the next level. That's what some of these college coaches would love to see.
And Ruiz Weiss, one of the guys returning from last year's Giants squad, really important piece to have some guys that have some familiarity with the ballpark, with manager TJ Brockway. So, showing that leadership and, really taking advantage so far here.
Jordan works a walk now. So first and second for Bennett Siegel. And obviously you talked about it earlier, but I have to bring it up once again. The Yale Bulldog showing off that baseball IQ, making those pitch-to-pitch adjustments. So always good to have a guy like that on the roster.
Absolutely. Anytime you have an Ivy League guy, he's probably going to have some smarts to him. It's not easy to get in despite how good and your athletic prowess might be.
Well, not to say, though, my dad, a Harvard graduate, don't know if he's watching at home, but that Harvard-Yale rivalry, don't know if he's kind of happy for Ruiz Weiss, but, having a little bit of that, Don't know how much you can celebrate. It's my team, but didn't go to my school, so I have to wonder if there's some mixed feelings over there at home from Jay Harper.
Yeah, I think the college rivalries are going to run deep no matter what. You know, I foresee myself in a couple of years if I see, you know, somebody from Boston College. I don't think I'm going to be able to root for them as a Syracuse guy myself, or Pitt and Boston College. I don't know if I'd support, even if it's like ACC.
Phillips taking off once again, really aggressive here. Gets into third, ball gets away. Miscommunication, a good deke there initially from the third baseman, but Phillips gonna make his way home. First to third is Drew Jordan, and those mental mistakes we brought up on the broadcast earlier that came in to help the Giants last night against the T-Bolts, showing up once again. 4-1 lead for the Giants, and just like that, another man in scoring position, still with just one out.
You mentioned the deke that Prusik had. It almost got Phillips to retreat himself back to third base. Ultimately goes home to touch that fourth base and enter another run. The fourth on the night for the Giants so far, and it seems like they might be finding that rhythm. I don't want to talk too much into it, but going into yesterday's game, it was a struggle to find runs, and yesterday put up 10. So far, you got 4 through 3. You know, it's really starting to maybe unlock some things for these Gaithersburg Giants.
There's some hard-to-watch offensive performances here in recent games, but you know what? I mean, you show up to the broadcast, but we got 2 games with some high-powered offense so far. They're getting back to what they've done earlier in the season. You talk about the July Giants that you saw last year. Maybe your rival back into the booth, kind of bringing that juice back to the team.
You know, if I can bring anything, I hope it's the juice for this squad. You know, as a broadcaster, I can't do much for on the field, but if the vibes are up, you know, when I return in July, I'd love to see it.
And the vibes continuing to rise as Siegel saw it off on that inside pitch, but does just enough to flick it over the infield, who was already shifted in on that one. RBI single. Jordan comes across to score. It's a 4-run inning for the Giants so far. 5-1 lead here.
And you got to feel for Larson over there in right field. He's had a lot of balls hit his way, none of which have really been reachable, though. We mentioned the Ruiz Weiss, too, over there, and, you know, that one is just way too far in front of him, and he's just got to watch. He's like a bystander.
A hit parade now going for the Giants. This one popped over there by the dugout will get out of play, so 0-1 on Ryan Strnad, really, but kind of what we've seen, Ruiz Weiss with the 2 RBIs, but really the whole front of that lineup, and even part of the bottom, just kind of a team-wide effort here early on. O'Brien Gonzalez, who, after that rough first inning, really settled in nicely, thought he might have found his groove with that quick second inning, but that pitch count already nearing 50. That one absolutely turned on, but driven a little bit too foul. So, you know, after what looked to be kind of might have found something, looked like got into that rhythm in the second inning with a quick one, but now Giants, was going to say they have him on the ropes, but with a 4-run inning, I would say it's a little bit more than
there. Meet with him one time, so Lutchenberg tried to get on the same page, but, you know, it shows what's really different about baseball is, you know, you let one batter get it, and then all of a sudden the party has started and Gaithersburg opens a can of worms potentially.
Hits from 5 of the first 6 guys in the order. Strnad will not add to that tally here, though. Takes that breaking ball on the outer half. 4 strike 3, so long-awaited second out of the inning recorded by O'Brien Gonzalez. Logan Powell now stepping into the box, 2 outs with a man on first, looking to see if he can continue, maybe get a little 2-out rally going on, keep the vibes going, get even higher, get some more rest out there for Bergen before he goes out for the 4th. And, well, won't be a long at bat, but Powell plunked on this one, will make his way to first base. So, anyway, anyhow, as they say, and Powell seemed to kind of take that one pretty easily off the back, but either way, will make his way over to first base. And it's 2 bats and 2 hit-by pitches for the DH so far tonight.
I might have, you know, jinxed him when I said he wanted to get back in the hit-by-pitch race, but now he has. He's got himself up to 3, wearing them like a magnet today, apparently. They're finding his backside. I attribute it to his walk-up song, the Madonna song that Jim Skin made popular with his drop-the-shoulder dance move. Na, 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 na. Yeah, see, that plays, he drops the shoulder, he gets hit. You know, he was just doing the dance move, and, you know, I think that's what attributed to it.
These internet trends, man, just kind of gets these guys to, some of these guys take it too literally, gets them a little bit too involved. But, you know, from the Giants' perspective, obviously any base runner will definitely take that if he's willing to put his body on the line for the team. You know, I'm comfortable up here in the box. We got the fan going, got the fence in front of us, no risk of injury up here, but putting his life on the line out there is Logan Powell. And we'll see if Dylan Anderson, down 0-2 in the count, takes that one for the first ball of the at-bat, but some speed on second with Siegel. A single likely drives him in. I've seen some opportunities for these Aces outfielders to kind of show off their arm and be gun a guy at third, gun a guy at home, but so far have not come up with anything. Would love to see them kind of get forced to do something here. That outside pitch, a little check swing, gets a piece of it. So staying alive here is Anderson.
Dylan Anderson, the guy that wants to get into this party. We've yet to see him as, from the bottom of the order. This is only his second time up. He's watching everybody cross the plate in front of him. So he wants to make that 6-1 happen and be a part of that party, and maybe drop the shoulder with Powell's little celebration and the Madonna song.
Yeah, that's what they need. You talk about the July Giant. Need to get that celebration going. Need to have that some signature thing, really get the vibes going. Obviously, the signature being winning and scoring some more runs. Would love that. Maybe get the vibes going even more with something along the base, a little double sally, something going with the dugout. Get the people involved, but Anderson, 2 easy takes there, so count up to 3-2. Runners on first and second, both will be off on the pitch. Single will definitely score at least 1. Could potentially bring in 2, depending on how good of a jump Powell gets. The delivery here, that one grounded on the right side, onto a knee and fielding it. Tossing over to first, good defensive play there from Hunter White. So 9 hitters come to the plate in the third for the Giants. 4 runs come to score. It is a 5-1 lead as we head to the 4th inning on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Right back after this. So a statement bottom of the 3rd inning for the Giants has them up 5-1 as we reach the middle stages of this one. Alex Bergen out for his 4th inning of work, looking to put up another 0 and keep that Giants lead exactly where it is.
Yeah, Bergen, a guy who's battled into at-bats so far. We've seen him maybe get a little bit behind in the count, but he doesn't lose any of his cool. Stays ready up there on the mound and, throw him out there again. Why not? We haven't seen a run cross the plate since the 1st inning.
One out here in the 4th for Bergen. You talk about just such an important inning here for the right-hander. You put up those 4 runs in the bottom of the inning, just putting up a 0 here, keeping the score at 5-1. Just showing that offense that, their efforts are appreciated. The pitching staff really been carrying much of the load recently as they've been waiting for the offense to pick up steam. And now that they're doing it, just being able to show them that, the feeling's mutual. We appreciate you, you appreciate us. So just kind of having everything firing on all cylinders for the Giants could be huge, especially if they can keep the lead where it is and really just kind of start pushing this game into a spot where, O'Brien Gonzalez pitch count going up, could see the bullpen come into play soon. Just see if you can keep putting up 0s on the defensive side and go keep attacking on offense.
Yeah, you got to make those aces start to get deeper into their bullpen. That would certainly maybe start to open up a game that's already been cracked a little bit as the Giants start to run it up. But yes, it's that support from Bergen. If you can watch your team put up 4 runs And then when you walk back out, if you can provide that defensive support from the bump, that can be a really momentum shifter for this entire squad.
The 1-1 pitch, that one popped up over the first base side. Phillips has a play on it, brings that one down. So 2 very quick outs, seeing some much improved efficiency here from Bergen. Kind of similar to what we saw last night from Owen Singer, you know, first inning or 2, pitch count rising a little bit, but now 3 2/3 innings, just 48 pitches, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, giving up 2 hits, just the 1 walk on the night. So definitely settling in a lot more than what that first inning looked like this game was going to entail. But for Giants fans and that coaching staff, definitely what you want to see. But broadcast jinx, once again, what 3 for 3 tonight so far, is that one first pitch cracked into center field. So a 2-out single for Brad Larson, and the inning extends for the backstop, Schraden Lechtenberg.
Really great job there from Larson. He just found the perfect spot to throw that. It was right in front of Anderson's feet. Not really any chance for him to get it. He kept it nice and low, allowing him to reach first base and try to get a little momentum. You know, it's a 2-out rally. It was a really quick time that he had to get into a 2-out rally, but he's at least got 1 base runner aboard.
Lechtenberg, the left-hander, stepping into the box now. First pitch he sees as a strike. Second one,
still be into the groove, you know, like the Madonna song we keep referencing onto the broadcast tonight.
Loving the references from this guy over to my left, just truly something special. Loving what he's bringing to the broadcast. So really taking everything to a next level like this Giants offense has since you returned.
You know, just like to bring those vibes. You know, I've been gone for a little bit. I was over the pond.
Stolen base attempt. That one just in time. Throw. A good one to Trujillo. Did take him off the bag just a bit. The speed from Larson. Throw beat him to the base, but Trujillo had to kind of wait up for that one on the shortstop side to the tag. A split second too late, but this is where, you know, the pitch called a strike, so no balls, 2 strikes. Love to see Bergen just get out of this one, keep that runner where it is, not allow that run to score. That changeup gonna miss low, so 1 ball, 2 strikes now on the backstop. Bergen looking for a 3rd consecutive scoreless frame. Won't have it here. That fastball misses outside, so Lechtenberg making him work a little bit here. 2s across the board.
Larson's out there taking quite a hefty lead. He's got Trujillo thinking about coming back to cover. He did on the last one.
Again, 3 straight non-competitive pitches from the right-hander, so count runs full now. Bergen's still looking to close off this inning. That runner over there on second doesn't mean the world, obviously, after having put up 4, but really don't want to let Lechtenberg get on and give them any chance at a crooked inning, but he does. That one shot into center. Anderson coming up is going to fire home. Throw is offline. Lechtenberg sliding into second safely as Larson crosses the plate. So the second run scores for the Aces. They crack into that 4-run deficit. Lechtenberg makes it into second, which one will likely be ruled a single plus the advance to second. But all that with 2 outs. Pretty much 4 pitches got the first 2 outs, but then 2 straight base runners reach, and now what could have been a quick scoreless frame has turned into the Aces trying to get back into this one.
This is where you can't let the game get away from you if you're Bergen. You were 1 pitch away from retiring the side. Now that a run goes to tally, you can't let yourself get out of control, let it get into your head. Just know that.
Yeah, Lechtenberg's teammate Ricky Barnes, now the junior at Blackhawk College. The pinch runner now over there at second. It'll be fantastic idea there from Stranad. Threw that one, immediately started walking back towards the dugout. Thought he had it off rip, but a little bit too late. Pitch was a strike, however, so Prusek now down 0-2. Bergen couldn't finish off the last batter. Will try and do it here.
Going with the pinch runner, you wonder what the decision is to get Lechtenberg out of this game. Now you got to get a catching substitution in.
What are the rules of that for this league? I have seen that a few different times, so it might be a catcher substitution rule where he's able to bring in the pinch runner, especially with 2 outs.
With the 2 outs, okay. I wasn't sure about the rule. Didn't really see that a lot of last summer. Gaithersburg was really had an interesting catcher rotation last summer around. I remember it. Shout out to Zach White. He was always a really entertaining guy out on the base path. Miss him up here in the Cal Ripken League.
That pitch up and outside. Yeah, well, they'll have just like a rule book in front of me because, you know, entering this season didn't have like a explicit list of everything that's allowed and not allowed. I think that's reserved to the players and coaches. So assuming that that's just going to be an easy catcher substitution, especially with how quick Lechtenberg went. But Bergen walking off after that one plates the off-speed pitch on the outside corner. So does allow the 1 run, but bounces back from that, gets the next batter looking. 5-2 ball game now heading into the bottom of the 4th. Gaithersburg looking to add on to the lead, get that 1 run back. You're listening and watching the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. We'll be back in action in 1 moment. So after giving up 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, Aiden O'Brien Gonzalez's day is done. He gives way to Finn Patrick. Patrick, the right-handed junior from Rhodes College. So a short outing for O'Brien Gonzalez. He finishes his day, 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Not the most effective day from their starter. Patrick looking for some more success as the first guy out of the bullpen. He faces top of the Giants order, their 3rd time around, Dominic Trujillo. 1 for 2 on his night, looking to do some damage off of the new guy. Colin, tell us about this kid.
Well, Finn Patrick, he's got 2 appearances so far, 1.2 innings, but when you look at his full stat line, he has a 32.4 ERA, which, when you put into context of the 1.2 innings pitch, you know, might not be the most telling of statistics. You know, it's hard to always get too analytical when you have small sample sizes in the summer league, but definitely something Patrick probably wants to improve on in this outing.
And the one thing about those high ERAs, especially in very short kind of appearances or short sample sizes, they can get lowered very quickly. So a scoreless inning might even cut that thing by more than half. So would obviously love for that ERA to continue to rise. Don't know how realistic of an option that is here. Giants would have to have another offensive explosion, but Trujillo started one last inning. We'll try to do it here. A sliding play at short from Scro. Throw offline, but the tag made at first by Hunter White. So a good defensive play, just getting to that ball by Scro, getting up, making the throw, and a good heads-up play by White, catching that one, coming off the base, and tagging Trujillo. So a tumultuous first out of this inning, but it is indeed an out.
Yeah, Scro's got to be happy there with White's effort. Probably got to buy him dinner after that one. You know, what was a great defensive play. Luckily leads to an out. White opting to go with the tag of the runner instead of just, you know, tapping himself on the base.
Yeah, so a good play by that one. Another thing they just always kind of teach those first basemen, just if you can't get it on the stretch, rather come off the bag and just see if you can get that tag. Trujillo, pretty decent runner, but not the fastest guy in the world. So with how fast Scro got to that one and came up firing, had more than enough time to get off the base, collect himself, grab that one, and reach around for the tag. But Turnip Seed 1 for 2 on his night as well. 1 ball, 1 strike, looking for his 2nd hit. Takes that one outside. Interesting kind of wind-up here from Patrick. Very, like, Brusdar Gratterall-like. It's kind of just so simplified, I guess, is the one word that's coming to mind.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. And Patrick, I like to think that he's up and down. Like, he just picks it up and has just, like you said, very, like, a simple motion. Kind of like if you were to draw a throw from memory, I think that's what it would be.
That's a great way of putting it.
He has the high release, and he just brings it right down, kind of like a tomahawk chop. None of this like crazy sidewinding that we see from a lot of pitchers that have to make adjustments as they deal with elbow injuries and trying to reinvent themselves and find a new spin rate, help their whip as much as they can. This guy looks like just throwing straight gas.
Don't know why it came into my mind, but it kind of looks like starts the windup. It's like he's sleepwalking into it, and all of a sudden he just wakes up and then just fires it home. So, whatever works, but I mean, ball's coming out of his hand pretty nicely there. 3-2 count, did miss on that last pitch to Turnip Seed, but
it's nothing fancy. He just picks it up and puts it down.
Plus, I mean, as a guy who didn't make it to college baseball, who am I to judge anybody else's motion? That one just misses. Patrick not too happy about it. A 1-out walk, though, forced by Lee Turnip Seed. And how about this kid? Brady Ruiz-Weiss has come up twice. A triple, a double, 2 RBIs.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not going to say anything, but
that C word is coming to mind for you right now.
Just the bottom of the 4th. Maybe he gets something over the plate, puts one over the wall, then we could really start talking about it if that's the case. But either way, been the driving force of this offense through 3 1/3 innings tonight. See if he can continue his blazing hot day. First pitch way outside. This one comes back in on the cutter, so evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Turnip Seed seeing if he gets active over there at all at first. Won't on this pitch. Slows it down with the slider. Also pours that one in for a strike. So Ruiz-Weiss down 1-2 in the count.
That one came in at 78, so he's got a hard throw. It's not reaching the highest velocities, but he finds his way somehow.
Takes that one low and outside, so 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the Yale lefty. Ruiz-Weiss, I feel like I've talked about him so much across the year as a guy that can really catch fire at any moment. Haven't seen that yet. Starting to do so tonight, but comes up empty on that swing. Looked like a changeup out of the hand of Patrick. Just dove away from him. Everything he saw up to that point had been coming in. Patrick decides to go to that changeup, breaks away from him, gets him to lunge on that one. Swing and miss, so now 2 down.
Hey, you wonder what these batters have to do for the adjustment of, if we're up here talking so much about Patrick's release from the mound, it's only a matter of seeing it so much differently down at home plate. So definitely probably something unique if it's caught our attention so far away.
Turnip Seed looked like he might have started to go there for a second, but does end up pausing. Yeah, if I was on this Giants team, definitely any of these guys come back to the dugout, I'd immediately be asking, what did you see? Because it's got to be so hard to mentally kind of hone in and focus on what's going on. So the throw to first, nothing doing over there for Turnip Seed. Just kind of get you into a lull a little bit with how just calm and relaxed the start of this motion is for Patrick, especially now out of the stretch. Can kind of catch you sleeping. Obviously the velocity, nothing insane, but definitely can get on you in a hurry if you're not expecting it.
Absolutely. Aiden Phillips sends that one high into the sky. Bouncing over into the gravel here as we see all the kids run to chase after it. Oh, one kid ditched his shoes to go after. I wonder if that helps with the speed. You see some base runners flip their helmet off, when they're on the base pad. This kid's like, I got to ditch the shoes for some maneuverability.
Love to see that guy rounding first, going for second on a double, just kicks his shoes off, starts running in there.
Could you imagine you had some click release cleats or something, you could toss them off? I don't know if you'd want to lose the metal spikes, though, in the middle of the field. Although I'm sure if you were trying to cover a bag and a guy slides in without cleats on, it's probably a little more forgiving.
Honestly, yeah, Turnip Seed now caught in a rundown. Late throw to second. Keeps getting him in the tag. Recorded there at second by William Burkhaw. So Patrick kind of got the hint over there. We were talking up here about whether or not Turnip Seed was going to go. Looked like on that pitch, it just kind of got caught in between there. Throw gets him. So facing the minimum there is Patrick in his first inning of work. First man out of the bullpen. Manager Brian Worth at least pulling the right strings in that regard. So we head now to the top of the 5th inning. Bergen out there for his 5th inning of work. Back in one moment on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Getting close to the halfway point in this one. Tuesday night, Cal Ripken League baseball action between the Giants and the Alexandria Aces. Bergen gave up that 2-out rally, or mini 2-out rally, I should say, in the top of the 4th, but got out of it one batter later. So 5-2 ball game, looking to keep this offense at bay. The guy that ended the last inning on that pickle, 9-hitter William Burkhaw, the first to hit here in the 5th. Burkhaw takes that one for a ball. 0 for 1 on his day after this. We'll flip back to the top of the order. About to face 3rd time through, so have to imagine the Bergen's day.
As long as you can, he had a short inning last time around, so trying to keep that pitch count in check as much as you can. Sleigh manager T.J. Brockway definitely not going to let him overextend himself.
Yeah, it's just the 64th pitch of the night for him. 61st pitch of the night for him. I apologize, but overall been a pretty successful outing so far. Would love to see him squeeze at least one more inning out of it. As he misses with that one low. Check over there at 3rd base. Didn't feel like that was incredibly needed, but didn't go. So count runs full now to the 9-hitter. Never want to walk the 9-hitter to open up an inning, especially with Elijah Grant on deck. See what he does here. That one avoids it. Foul tip into the mitt. Bergen, good job coming back there. Records his 6th strikeout of the day. So now we flip, as I just mentioned, to the top of the order. Elijah Grant now coming up, 1 out and nobody on.
Yeah, he's a dangerous man when he gets to that box. We talked about he manufactured that first run that really opened it up for Alexandria. Effective hitter, but even more effective once he gets on that base path, having that incredible speed that he has.
Fouls the first pitch he sees back, so seeing these two teams very kind of even overall on the offensive side. Giants just capitalizing on more mistakes. 4 for 11 with men on for the Giants. Really not happy with himself, so reached in the first inning on the single. Was sat down on strikes last time. Bergen ahead at no balls and 2 strikes here. Would love to just sit him down, not let him use his speed on the base paths. That one into short right. Coming on but not getting there is Ruiz Weiss. So definitely nice that the Giants have opened up into that 3-run lead, or at least are maintaining that 3-run lead. A guy with Grant now on the bases. Have to imagine that within the first few pitches, he'll be taking off. That's a guy that once he gets on, pretty much a guarantee that he's running. So interested to see how the Giants try and keep him at bay, how much attention Bergen does pay to him over there at first base.
Yeah, he's got 6 more stolen bases than the guy behind him, Brad Larson. He's got 14 on the season, so you know that once he's on first base, he does not like to be there at all.
Guy allergic to whatever base that he's on, always trying to get to the next one. Not going on the first 2 pitches, both missing on the outer half, so 2 balls, no strikes. For Jackson Skro, looking to record his first hit of the contest, 0 for 2 on the night.
Even his not goings look like he's taking it too far an extensive lead. Oh, there we see a quick throwback. But the speed goes both ways. You know, he likes to steal bases, but apparently he can get back to him pretty quickly, too.
I think that's kind of what extends the effect of how dangerous he is on the base pass. It's always going to get into the pitcher and catcher's head. Really get into everyone's head, obviously. That's the second straight throw over for Bergen. I mean, you always have to be accounting for him, but there is that level of being too focused on the base runner that you kind of lose control, lose command a little bit of the at-bat. So Grant does take off here, the throw from Strnad. Not he is, but just like that, man in scoring position. That one also missed below the zone. So 3 balls, no strikes. Grant on second. Skro at the plate.
And that's the risk that Bergen took with the second disengagement, trying to throw out Grant. You knew once he had 2 as the right-handed pitcher, his back turned to him. It was almost a matter of time before Grant took off, knowing that he already had the pitcher set off his 2. He was going to get to second no matter what, if he got him to engage or if he stole it on his own.
Well, now at the very least, obviously you don't love that walk from Bergen as manager TJ Brockway works his way to the mound. Gonna have our first pitching change of the night for the Giants, but you know, at the very least, you got 1 sprint out of Grant's system, so that energy bar may be down just a little bit for him, although he's not one of those guys that you're really ever going to see slow down. But Bergen's night is done. First call to the bullpen for the Giants. We're gonna take a quick break as they get warmed up coming in to pitch for Gaithersburg. It appears to be a left-hander. Gonna have more information on the first man out of the pen when we come back. So 1 man down, runners on first and second. The new arm is the southpaw, Jake Plain. Alex Bergen exits, responsible for both of those base runners on his line. 4 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. What'd you see out of the right-hander tonight, Colin?
He was strong to start, and he had a lot of great control, but like you mentioned, that energy bar, I think it just came in the summer league. Don't want to try to injure him, make him feel
dangerous lefty here at the plate for Hunter White. The first assignment for the sophomore lefty from Brown. Plains pitching to a 15.43 ERA. 2 appearances, both out of the bullpen, 2 in the 3rd innings. 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. So a lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of runs, but a guy that definitely, by that strikeout number, over 15 per 9 on a very high pace, can definitely blow it past you, work it by you with a few different off speeds. So has the stuff, just has to control it.
Just going to say, I want to put my Moneyball hat on for a second. If we're going to let this guy go 9, the analytics say he's going to give you 15 strikeouts, but that's, at the end of the day, why they're analytics and not stats. So we got to really see, you know, roll the ball out and see if Plaint can really throw it on. And been effective with his strikeouts and minimal innings pitched, and finds himself in a battle here, but he's got a dangerous guy in Grant behind him, so he's got to also watch out for those base runners.
Yeah, lefty and White, then 2 righties, then 4 lefties to round out. So definitely Brockway playing that analytics card for the lefty-on-lefty matchup. That check swing, though. So first pitch swinging from Hunter White. Grounded it foul, kind of trickled out over the box. Next 3 pitches all out of the zone, only one of them particularly close. So 3-1 count. Plaint gonna have to do some work to get back into this one. This pitch, though, grounded over there to first base, only gonna have a play at first. Phillips takes it himself, records the second out, so does a nice job of not letting White kind of get away from him, gets that out on the first batter. Both runners do advance, so Daniel McGinnis stepping up with 2 on and 2 out. Lefty-on-lefty matchup did work out in Brockway's favor, but now that righty coming in, definitely not out of the woods yet is Plaint, especially with both runners advancing. So 2 on, both in scoring position, 2 on, 2 out. McGinnis 0 for 2 on his day. Plaint would love to make that 0 for 3.
Manager TJ Brockway probably going with the lefty just for the last matchup, but Plaint's going to have to give some good work here for the Giants and try to go the distance. Tricky here with 2 outs, but I'm sure his team would love if he can get him out of it.
Big spot, that one cranked into deep left field. Siegel ranging back on it, puts up his glove, it's over his head. Both runs come in to score. The throw comes into third. A 2-out, 2-run double for Daniel McGinnis, and just like that, the Alexandria Aces are right back into this one. 1 run in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th. Both will be charged to Bergen's line, but that one a few feet from leaving the yard and tying this one, but does stay in the park. Trims the deficit to just 1 now, so just like that, we've got a ball game.
Yeah, McGinnis makes himself that tying run in scoring position now, and like you mentioned, a few feet away. He's probably a different baseball field or 2 away from having that one be a home run in his stat book, but he'll take that double.
Plaint really going to need to get out of this one. Tying run on second, go-ahead run at the plate. Still just top of the 5th inning, so hasn't been very consistent recently, just keeping the score here, giving them the lead. That one really shot deep into left center field. That ball keeps carrying, and that one is going to leave the yard. That one, the launch angle on that looked like it went straight up, but that one hit hard enough. Matthew Pazak, back-to-back hard-hit balls, sneaks over the fence, and just like that, that lead has disappeared. A 2-run go-ahead bomb for the designated hitter.
Yeah, Pazak loved what he had there. Sending that one absolutely into a far left field. That's 2 very hittable balls that we've seen come off the arm of Plaint. So you wonder, you gotta get your head back in the game. The bases are cleared now. Find your stuff. And
bullpen game on both sides. Manager of the Aces, Brian Worth, seemed to pull the right strings, bringing in Patrick as his first man out. Plaint not providing the same success for the home team. That 4-run inning in the 3rd by the Giants very quickly matched. 5 runs over the next 2 innings and counting for the Aces. So still, Plaint looking to get that final out, falls behind 2-0 to Brad Larson. Does get a ground ball here over to Turnipseed. So Plaint finally gets out of that inning, but 4 runs capped off with that statement 2-run go-ahead home run. Matthew Pazak putting an imprint on this one. Giants will look to counter. In the bottom of the 5th, we are halfway through here at Criswell Automotive Field at Kelly Park. More in a minute from the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. We're getting things going here to start off the bottom of the 5th inning, looking like a boxing match so far. Both teams with a run in the first. Giants with 4 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th. By the Aces, they take the lead now. That pitch in there for a strike.
If you're Gaithersburg, you gotta maybe find yourself in a response here. You saw the bats get going a little bit earlier, but now that Alexander has responded, you got it once again to a close ball game. As we get into this back half, both teams really starting to get into their groove. So Gaithersburg, this is your chance to kind of capitalize on what you had going earlier in the game and get that response going and show that you can stay in baseball games.
Yeah, definitely put up those 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Pitching gave it back. That'll be a good start here, though, to the 5th inning as Aiden Phillips shoots that one through the gap on the 3rd base side. So leadoff single gets things going. Talked about Finn Patrick's year so far. Definitely had his struggles in a short sample size, so we'd love to see the Giants kind of take advantage of that, get him back to the form that he's looked like to begin the season, not how good he looked in that 1st inning of work tonight.
Definitely like to see him get to that form as much as possible, and there's a great start to it.
First pitch now to Drew Jordan. That one across for a strike. Jordan 0 for 1 on his night so far. 3 and 4 hitters, Ruiz Weiss and Aiden Phillips, both 2 for 3 on their night. So top to middle part of this order definitely doing a good job. Takes that one for a strike. Patrick working quickly ahead 0-2 now.
Patrick with some good movement on that one. Jordan thought it was coming towards him, lifted his hands, felt like it was coming towards him in his batter's box, but ultimately finds it over the plate.
And good. Looked pretty good from up here. Just fastball right down Broad Street. Kind of took it for strike 3. So after the leadoff single, Jordan set down on strike to be Bennett Siegel now stepping into the box, 1 out with the man on first.
Get a quick reset here from everybody. We saw catcher step back. We saw the batter change his hair. So, everyone was just, resetting there on that one, making sure they're all ready to go.
That one rattled over to second. Double play ball here for the Aces. 4, 6, 3, and Patrick doesn't give the Giants any breathing room after the big inning in the top half. So 6-5 here as we head into the 6th inning. Back with more in a minute on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. after a tough start to this appearance by Jake Plaint in the top half of the 5th inning, they're sticking with him for the 6th. So the lefty looking to improve on what was a rough 5th inning where he gave up a handful of runs. So he'll start things off with a strike on the outside half to Schraden Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg 1 for 2, third time around here, third at bat of the night. Pretty decent job by the middle of this order. 4 through 7, all with hits for the Aces. Definitely been powering them to some strong offense over the course of these past few innings as that fastball misses down.
Yeah, getting Plaint back out. Probably a little more time to settle in, not coming out of the bullpen with 2 guys on the base path already. So just need him to reset. You've already gone to your bullpen here. Manager TJ Brockway is going to want to conserve as much as he can. It's still a 1-run ball game now that Alexandria has the lead. Gaithersburg far from out of it.
Trying to rebuild that momentum, so he does get the first hitter of the inning to roll over there to first. Phillips with an easy play after taking it to the bag. So 1 up, 1 down. Definitely after an inning like the last one, baby steps moving forward, trying to get back into settle into a rhythm, kind of find what's working and what isn't. Definitely pretty much everything about last inning was what wasn't working, but getting that first out here, first hitter to get out here in the 6th inning, definitely a big improvement. See if he can follow that up here with Miles Prusak's third at bat. Hitless on the night coming into that one. Check swung, takes that off the ribs. Definitely didn't feel good on that fastball. The appeal over to third did not go, so it'll be a hit by pitch for the Aces third baseman. They'll have a runner on first with 1 down.
Plaint not happy that they didn't call Prusak on the full swing. He was asking the ump what exactly he saw there. I mean, Prusak had got his hands moving, ultimately does eat the pitch, so interesting call, but you always got to go with blue, you know. From up here, we couldn't really see if he's crossing that base path or not.
Yeah, obviously not the best view from directly behind home plate from up here, but did look like in real time that he did not go, so at least with what we're able to see, probably the correct call there to give him the hit by pitch, but Plaint works back, gets a first pitch strike to William Burkall, the 9-hole hitter. We'll miss outside. With that breaking ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Comes back, continues to miss on that outside half to some of these left-handed hitters. This is once again there. See how he adjusts moving forward. Elijah Grant now on deck. Going to continue to harp on his impacts. 2 for 3 on the day. Definitely done some good things. Good thing done here by William Burkall as that one heads into the corner. Rounded the throw is going to come into first baseman Phillips. Runners hold at second and third. So a 1-out double now gives Grant 2 men on and 1 down. Pretty good swing there, shooting that one into the right field corner. And now 2 men in scoring position with just 1 out. Aces looking to extend on their newfound lead.
Yeah, that right field corner, Reese Weiss manning it. Had to get to that ball quickly. You almost right away, it was Stranau calling for it to go to 4, knowing that he just wanted to defend from any run scoring on that one. Give his team a chance with bases loaded at least.
Definitely a solid job to get that ball in as quick as they did, hold the runners from scoring. So big at bat here with the Giants infield all the way in. You know, you regain a lot of momentum from the win last night. Really want to see if you can continue that here into today. It was looking good in the early stages. Now that big inning, big run last inning from the Aces, threatening here once again, being able to get Grant out and being 1 out away from ending it would be big, but they don't get it here as that one heads into left field. Third hit of the day for Grant, and he just flies into second. Don't know how that one's going to be ruled in the scorebook, but the speed from Grant once again on display as he gets into second on a ball that couldn't have been hit more than 75, 80 miles an hour, but good piece of hitting, 1 run scores, 7-5 ball game. And manager TJ Brockway once again out. Plaint handing the ball over to him. His night will be over. So short appearance from the southpaw. Second time out to the bullpen for the Giants. We'll give them a few minutes to kind of get things going, get warmed up here on the field as the new pitcher comes into the game. More information on that picking up this inning back in just a few moments on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. So after the short outing from the southpaw Plaint, Giants will call on the right-hander Daniel Smith in here, being thrust into the fire, second and third with just one out. Facing the two-hitter for the Aces, Jackson Skro 0 for 2 on his night. Very lanky build from Smith, kind of that side-winding three-quarters slot, so definitely a different look here being thrown at some of the Alexandria hitters.
He's kind of got the hair of the Miz, too, you know, with that lengthiness. That's who I'm getting the vibes off the great Brewers pitcher right now.
That one dinked into short left field. Siegel gonna corral that one. No chance at home. Does keep Grant at second, but the sacrifice fly for Jackson Skro extends the lead. So largest lead of the day for the Giants was 4. This 3-inning onslaught by the Aces now has them up 3, 8-5 ball game. It is a quick out, however, for the right-hander, so 2 outs, runner on second for Hunter White.
Yeah, now it's got to be back and forth. It's just, if you're Gaithersburg, how do you respond? Now gone to the bullpen twice. You got to get those bats a little bit alive. You had the one big inning, but you know it's going to take one step at a time. You got to get your guys on base. Got to get some more consistency from your pitching staff if you want to erase this 3-run deficit right now. And Daniel Smith, he has an opportunity to do it. This is his 5th appearance in the Gaithersburg jersey this year. He's 5 in the 3rd inning gone so far.
Grant doing all sorts of things over there at second, but doesn't end up going. Second straight batter with a fly ball into left field. Siegel coming down with that one pretty easily, so quick outing from Daniel Smith extinguishes the fires to some extent. 4 runs charged on the line of Jake Plaint. Smith comes in and cleans up now, so we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Giants chasing 3, see if they can put a dent in that Aces lead. When we come back, once again, more Cal Ripken Baseball League action on the Gaithersburg Giants Network, Broadcast Network, in just a moment. After getting just the 3 innings out of the starter, Aiden O'Brien Gonzalez. Aces manager Brian Worth sticking with his reliever Finn Patrick now coming out for his 3rd inning of the night. Giving up just 1 hit in his first 2 innings, no runs to his name. Giants a chance to respond now. 4, 5, 6 coming up, starting with Phillips, who's 2 for 3 on the night. Been one of the driving forces of that early offensive showing. Giants haven't scored since the 3rd inning, however, so would love to stop that streak right here in its tracks.
Yeah, Phillips back-to-back with Reese Weiss, the only 2 guys with 2 hits tonight.
Broadcast error, quick apology on my part. This is Ryan Strnad, so it'll be 7, 8, 9.
Had
2 righties, bigger guys, similar
Had
numbers.
myself wrong highlighted. It's a bad error on my part, but we're just getting warmed up here in the season. I think the heat's getting to me as we start to cap off June.
Can't see it much on the broadcast. Can kind of see it in the background, but a beautiful sunset, or at least the remnants of one over to our right.
You got the pink skies, at least from our view of the broadcast.
Yeah, at least have that excuse that we got lost in the beauty of planet Earth. So have that going for us at least, but the 3-1 pitch here, that one misses inside. 5-pitch walk, all 5 pitches taken. Strnad finds himself on first base with a leadoff walk. So Logan Powell, yet to record an official at-bat on the day, has come to the plate twice. Has reached first both times, with both at-bats ending in a hit by pitch.
Well, I said it earlier, but that number 12 jersey might just have a magnet in it today. He's already worn 2 across his back, so we'll see if he can finally get a chance, go swinging after it, as we'll get a pinch runner out on first as Strnad. Just going to head back as the catcher, ready to get his gear.
Looks to be Eli Livingston over there making his way. So some speed on the bases now for the Giants with their leadoff man. First pitch comes in there for a strike. Definitely good. Obviously, Strnad, not the most fleet of foot, so getting in a guy that, not the tying run, not the go-ahead run, but still an important 6th run if they can get him across. Definitely good to have some speed, especially with how some parts of this offense have operated tonight. 1 ball to the gap now could be a first to home run from Livingston instead of a first third run for Strnad. The 1-1 pitch roped on the ground. Skro, nice play, off balance throw, gets the out at second, and that is just beautiful. Don't love to see it from the Giants' perspective, but Jackson Skro starting a beautiful double play. And that momentum from the Giants very quickly snuffed out, and 2 outs with nobody on.
Yeah, quick double play right there, the 6-4-3. This can really take the wind out of any sails that Gaithersburg was starting to get going. Quick 2 outs here, and now Anderson stepping to the plate with what would have been some base runners to play with is now just 2 outs that he has to fight off instead.
Powell, first time he gets out tonight, definitely a big spot. So Anderson stepping up, looking for his first hit of the night. Saw the Aces manufacture some runs with 2 men down earlier on in this game. See if the Giants can channel some of that energy now here in the bottom half of the 7th. Bottom half of the 6th, that is. As that one tapped over on a few bounces to third. Throw is low, but dug out at first by Hunter White. So quick inning here. Facing the minimum is Finn Patrick. Definitely looking a lot better than what the stat line showed coming into this game. Giants go quietly. We are 2/3 of the way through this one. 8-5 lead. Heading into the top of the 7th. More action when we come back on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Back in just a few minutes. Ball heads around back to the pitcher's mound. It'll be Daniel Smith staying in. First full inning, or chance at a first full inning here of the night after coming in the abbreviated 6th inning. So, first batter, he's set to face the 4-hitter Daniel McGinnis. McGinnis had a shot into the left field gap last time up before Matthew Pazak drove him in with a home run. So, heart of the Aces order. Smith will look to hold them down here as that one scorched on the ground but foul. So 1-1 count here.
Yeah, McGinnis, part of, like you mentioned, with that shot earlier was really kind of that onslaught that began with the Aces getting themselves now up to 8 runs. They went 1-4-2 across the last times they've been out. So bats have been hot and runs have been flowing so far. You wonder how much more can the Aces do? Will Gaithersburg ever be able to respond?
Bit of an issue here in right field as that one falls way to the left of Brady Ruiz-Weiss. Lost it in the sky. I mentioned earlier we didn't want that to happen, but it comes back to bite the Giants here. That one falls harmlessly. Throw comes into the infield, a bit offline, but they're able to corral it. But either way, it'll be Pazak, or McGinnis, I should say, ending up at second base. So what looked like a routine fly ball for the first out of the inning turns into extra bases. So in the books, it'll be a leadoff double. Definitely not a swing entirely worthy of that name, but will go down as that. So Matthew Pazak, who had the long ball last time he saw a pitch, another opportunity to do some damage here in the top of the 7th, because the first pitch he sees is taken outside. So Smith already in a little bit of trouble, though no fault of his own.
Yeah, you can't, if you're the pitcher on the mound, you can't really do anything about the stadium lights in the outfield. So it's just something that you got to bounce back with, you know, take the pitches as they come at you, you know, take the punches and roll with them.
Yeah, he's gotten 3 straight fly balls. He's faced 3 batters, 3 fly balls, first 2 to left field, last one to right field. So keeping it consistent with the results he's getting. Obviously would have loved to get that one back. I'm sure Ruiz-Weiss would, but either way, if you're Smith, just gotta keep your head down, work to the next batter, and try and limit Pazak here. Would love to keep that runner on second if possible, as that one clangs off the back fence.
Sun almost fully set now here in Gaithersburg. His lights are fully kicked on.
That one over to third, sliding play, making it look easy over at the hot corner. Drew Jordan getting down to an E, looking like Jackson Scrow did earlier on the other side. Makes that play, and a good job to keep the runner at second. So Pazak heads back to the dugout. Brad Larson now coming up. Some nifty defensive play there, obviously with the Giants offense having gone quiet in the last few innings. Maybe a defensive highlight like that one could get them back on track here.
Yeah, certainly Drew Jordan showing off that athleticism with a quick little aura farm. You know, he had that check on the first, little spin around. You know, he was putting on a show so far. And, you know, might just be what you need to get those vibes going. If you want to get a little bit of a rally here for Gaithersburg, their bats haven't been going too much in the past couple innings, so maybe the defense is what leads to it.
They just need to find some way to inject some life into this team. Just very quiet here around the stadium. I feel everyone was feeling good in those first few innings. The 4-run and third kind of had everybody in a spot where, you know, you get the win last night, you get an early lead tonight. You're feeling good about how everything's going, feel like you're turning a corner. Mentioned on the broadcast last night how one game can change the trajectory of a season. Looked like the Giants at least might have been on the verge of going on a little bit of a run, but the runs given up by the Giants pitching staff has definitely put a dampen on the vibes here at the stadium.
Definitely not out of reach quite yet for Gaithersburg. Still a lot of baseball to play, and like we mentioned, it's the one game that can turn around, but it's the one half inning that can really get you fired up, and it just takes one batter, honestly. And if I'm gonna break it down even further, it's just one pitch is what can all of a sudden change the momentum. So Gaithersburg locking up defensively.
Oh, a single over here into right field side. Runner going to be waved home. Ruiz Weiss misplays it, gets by him. And by the time he gets that one in, the run is way home. And cruising into second is Brad Larson. So single plus advancing to second on the error. Not the best look there from Ruiz Weiss. 2 defensive miscues in the inning. And jumping out to a 4-run lead are the Aces. And once again, replacing that man on second, another guy in scoring position with Schraden Lichtenberg coming up.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. Ruiz Weiss is definitely going to want that one back. Just looked like it hopped up in the grass, couldn't quite grasp it in his glove as well as he had liked to.
First pitch looked good, but just misses there, so 1 ball and no strike here.
Larson's taking a healthy lead out on second as well.
And some more miscommunication in the outfield. Ruiz Weiss able to slide in and grab that one. The center fielder, Delon Anderson, that time looked to be the one that lost it. But a good job by Ruiz Weiss bouncing back from those last few plays.
Yeah, you saw Anderson throw his arms up in the air. Could hear him audibly say, I don't got it or something. Ruiz Weiss tracking that all the way. That's what you might need to see a little bit more of is the lights get brighter and it's harder to see it directly out of the sky. You need to get the adjacent outfielders cutting in as they might have a better trajectory on the ball, not staring directly into those lampposts.
Brief jump at second over there by Larson, but he ends up stopping and holding his pace. So 2 out, men on second. Pitch missed inside. Smith looking for that put away. That one goes outside, so behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That one right down Broad Street. Pulls the fastball in there for strike of the at-bat. Foul tip there, so fell behind 2-0. Immediately comes back. Now count 2-2, so on the verge of keeping this inning at 1 run.
Smith had some heat on that one. My TrackMan glitched out, so I didn't see the exact number, but man, he brought the velocity hard so far. He's getting a little bit into his pitches now, but still finding the velo and still finding his control.
Another deke over there at second by the base runner. Doesn't go. This one popped right behind third base. That one a much easier play for Jordan. Puts it away. So Smith allows the 1 run. Will likely go down. Well, will go down in the books as an earned run, but box score definitely not telling the full story with the misplay in right field as Ruiz Weiss losing it in the night sky. But either way, 9-5 ball game. Giants 9 outs left to make something happen. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. More when we come back on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Successful outing by Finn Patrick. He now leaves the game. Patrick definitely did his part in relief of O'Brien Gonzalez. 3 innings, no runs, just gave up the 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. He leaves in favor of Jack Keane.
Keane's got a 12.79 ERA through
Right-hand.
6 appearances. He's only got 6 and a third innings pitched, so he's kind of that one inning guy for Alexandria. We'll see how deep he can go tonight. They just got to survive and advance at this point. Get some support, make sure Gaithersburg doesn't get their bats going, and they can escape this one with a win.
Sophomore from Bucknell going to have to face the top of the Giants order. Dominic Trujillo, Lee Turnipseed, Brady Ruiz Weiss, Aiden Phillips. Waiting in the wings if the inning gets to him. First pitch way up and in. So 1 ball and no strikes. Said it a little bit as we headed out of the last inning. Giants just 9 outs to play with here. Another one that Trujillo has to get out of the way from.
Trujillo's had to dance around these pitches so far. Coming across his inside, he's going to want to try to find one off his barrel soon, but more importantly, jump out of the way of him first. Keane had to come back there, finally finds the zone, forces Trujillo, like I mentioned, to put his barrel behind one. Just can't get quite a full piece, sent it right back over to his own dugout area.
It's been a big difference tonight so far. Just impressive work from some of the Alexandria arms. Falling behind in counts, really just keeping it going though. Working back in. Well, I don't know what this guy has against Dominic Trujillo. Third straight pitch. Not third straight pitch, I should say, but third pitch of the at-bat that brushed him off the plate. I get working inside, but coming into a ball game, still getting that arm slot, getting everything fixed down. It's 3 straight pitches that could have all have been dangerous hit-by pitches, though. Thankfully, Trujillo with the presence of mind to get out of the way now, looking to either force a walk or get on base. That one up high. So 4 balls, a 5-pitch walk. Trujillo with the leadoff base runner. Giants still looking for some sort of offensive spark. Down by 4, pitching has given up runs in 4 straight innings.
Yeah, Trujillo probably happy he didn't get hit by a pitcher. Like he said, he had to be backed off 3 times, and even that 4th was buzzing the tower up high above the zone. So, you know, all the fans of Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick borrowing a little military reference right there.
Gotta love it. King of references over here to my left. Guy just cannot stop spewing them out. Gotta love it here. But I mean, the story of this game really just 8 unanswered runs for the Aces. No matter how many runs, like you gotta put up a ton of runs if you're the Giants. If you're gonna allow 8 unearned and win, it's gonna come in 2 ways. You're either putting up a 15 spot or something early on in the game, or you're gonna have to mount a comeback, and the latter is pretty much the only way the Giants are gonna be able to pull out a win here. So I think this is the inning where you really got to do it. Anything past the 7th inning, the countdown clock really starts to get moving. So now is when you have a little bit more time. Don't want to say you have a big cushion, obviously just the 9 outs, but just at least try and get that 1 run and match what Alexandria got in the top of the inning. Obviously can't guarantee what the pitching does over the next 2 innings, but just being able to slowly start working back into the game. Give yourself some sort of hope. As the runner takes off, ball is taken up high into second base safely is Dominic Trujillo. So the battle of the speedy leadoff men tonight. Grant obviously doing a little bit more with his legs, but Trujillo not going to go quietly, trying to make some things happen here late.
Yeah, he had a great jump there. Gets himself into scoring position as we're talking about what can the Giants do to try to manufacture a rally. Getting the guy scoring position, no outs. It's a great way to start that, especially with a guy like Turnipseed up behind him. Once again, a guy with some velocity on the bases.
Fouls that one off, stays alive. Well, uncomfortable looking one-handed finish there by turnip seed, but a good job to just toss that one off and just stay alive in the count. But checking the back, kind of getting some extra pine tar spray on that one. Earlier in this game, I do want to point out that turnip seed's similar spot went down 2 strikes in the count, battled off, fought a few pitches off, and was able to get that kind of swinging bunt down the first base side to at least advance the runner over to third. But wouldn't mind a very similar result here. Obviously, a single or any sort of hit to kind of get that runner home, or at least to third, would be very well received here by the Giants and their fans. But just getting him over to third to where one fly ball can get him in. Runner's going to take off, try and eliminate that entirely. So no matter what, Trujillo advancing no throw from the catcher. Really trying to tighten up that battle between him and Elijah Grant on the base paths. Doing a good job there. Jump there was about as good as it can get. So as the count works to 2-2, Turnip Seed has a chance to bring home a run. Aces defense staying back. Going to be a good decision. Wow. Jackson Sgro has just been all over the place defensively. The range that he has shown tonight, definitely a big part of what has kept the game in the Aces' favor. But Turnip Seed does do the job. Trujillo's base running makes it easy for him to score on that deep ground ball. So the Giants cutting into that lead. They sacrifice the out for the run. 9-6 ball game. Brady Ruiz-Weiss, who's done the most damage of any Giant so far today, now stepping up.
100% a great play there from Sgro, showing off his impressive athleticism we've seen all night. Gets Turnip Seed out, but shows you how important those stolen bases were. The pair from Trujillo hit himself just 90 feet from home, which he was a one-man show manufacturing that run all himself. Just a little help from Turnip Seed, but you wonder if that is the momentum shift that you need if you're Gaithersburg. As we approach the back third of this game, it's been the first time we've seen a run since the third inning, so tough stretch, but glad to see another tally mark go aboard.
Yeah, for the Giants, really got to build on that one now. So 1 out, nobody on. Brady Ruiz-Weiss. I mean, as an offense, even on something like that, it has to be, at the very least, a little deflating as the check swing holds up. So Ruiz-Weiss able to lay off that one ball, 1 strike, but definitely at least a little bit deflating having to face a guy like that at shortstop. I mean, Sgro plays to his right, plays to his left, coming in on the ball, sitting back on the ball, doing it with the glove, doing it with the arm. I mean, he's just been everywhere defensively. And, you know, with a lesser defender, that's an infield single, or even getting into the outfield for just a straight-up single. So
100%, and in a 9-6 ball game like it is, Aces only with a 3-run lead. If you can keep that guy out there with the single, have that extra base runner. We've already seen Ruiz-Weiss deal damage with Turnip Seed in front of him. But it's that defensive Sgro can become a difference maker, saving a run here, saving a run there. That's what changes in these kind of tight games. Gaithersburg is starting to put a little bit of pressure on now, scoring a run this inning.
Check swing that one off the bat of Ruiz-Weiss, going foul. But I mean, that's kind of what separates two teams in a game like this, just doing the little things. We saw the Giants really making the most out of some uncharacteristic mistakes by the Aces defensively. Aces did the same exact thing a few innings after that, really just making the Giants pay for their little mistakes. But now just those small plays, being able to do those, capitalize on the mistakes, doing the routine fundamentals, really what has separated these two teams and what has given the Aces that kind of edge where, you know, they've bounced back from some early unfortunately timed plays. They've really played a very clean baseball game. As Ruiz-Weiss's good day gets even better, shoots that one into center. Obviously, with the excitement in the building, died a little bit down. Not as much of a storyline here, but do want to make that known that he has 3 of the 4 parts of the cycle. So, who knows? Maybe keep the line going, get a few men on for him in the 9th. We could see a historic moment. Long road to go before something like that could pop up, but
I'd say that if we do get to the chance of seeing Ruiz-Weiss up again and just needing to go powerful over the wall to complete that cycle would be quite an electric moment, as it would probably be making this game tied, close to tied, depending on what Alexandria does.
Ruiz Weiss taking off. They've loved to run tonight. He's in there rather easily, so gets to second on the stolen base.
You know, with one out, if you're Ruiz Weiss, you're looking at your man saying, man, I got to get myself in a scoring position right now if we want to get to it. Again, 3-run ball game. It's 9-6. Aces lead. They've been on a little bit of a tear in the back half of this. Gaithersburg was that third inning that was really big for them when they got 4 runs. And now we're starting to see a little bit more life. The legs are starting to pick up.
Phillips at the plate. Ruiz Weiss can take off once again. That one shot over there, so don't know if the hit and run was on there. Ruiz Weiss had the base stolen dead to rights.
And if you're Aiden Phillips, do you lay off that pitch? I don't know what the communication was there. Like you said, was the hit and run the play. Ruiz Weiss had that third base there so easily, but putting the ball in foul play is going to make him have to retreat.
Yeah, we'll say though on Phillips' side in his defense, definitely was a juicy looking pitch.
Oh, certainly. He also has his backside turned to him. You don't know how great of a jump Ruiz has gotten.
Absolutely. Plus, don't want to focus too much there on that, as it will pay off anyway. That one, a bullet into the left center field gap. Will one hop off the fence. Ruiz Weiss taking the turn and heading home. Aiden Phillips' third hit of the night brings home the second run of the inning. Giants now just down only 2 runs.
Absolutely. Once again, like you said, it pays off anyway. Ruiz Weiss didn't need to take that third bag as he gets some support from Phillips, letting him get there naturally. As looks like we'll get a quick stoppage here. Might be end of the night, and another call to the bullpen for Alexandria as they get a quick meeting on the mound with Keene. Looks like it will be. Give Alexandria a chance to set up everything as they try to keep this at bay. It's 9-7. Alexandria leads.
We're back here. Giants threatening to make a comeback. Braxton Vicar, the new wing, in for the Aces. 9 appearances on the season. 4.24 ERA, 17 total innings. Definitely been a guy they've relied on heavily out of the pen. First pitch of his night is a strike taken.
Gaithersburg showing some life now. 9-7 ball game, far from over. Only dealing with one out right now as well.
Quickly ahead 0-2. Now for a guy like Drew Jordan, very early in his season, hasn't played that much. This is kind of when you want to make a name for yourself and try and earn those extra opportunities. Down 0-2, lays off that pitch down.
This is Braxton Vicar's 10th appearance as he takes the bump for the Aces. So far, he's gone 17 innings pitched for this Alexandria squad, 4.24 ERA, so effective where he goes, and 20 Ks. So, a guy that likes to bring it across the plate, and looks like manager Brian Worth might be looking for a closeout guy to try to cut the Giants down where they are.
Don't see too many guys racking up 9 appearances already on the season. A fake steal over there at second. This ball will be flied harmlessly into center. Grant's plenty of speed to get under that one. No go at second from Phillips. So far too short to advance the runner, but second out of the inning recorded.
We brag so much about Grant's speed on the base pass, showing him really impressive right there in the outfield. Almost makes it look effortless with those quick feet that he does have.
Yeah, already kind of seeing that good jump that he displays off the bat, but also just having that speed where even if you don't get the best of jumps, you just have that ability to just track down balls just so quickly.
Yeah, when you lead the team in stolen bases, you know that you got that great first jump like he does. And what I say earlier, he's 6 ahead of the person second place in stolen bases, so he's got that footwork to show.
Just having that ability really impact the game and every facet of it. Once again, another big at-bat now. Bennett Siegel, he swings through that one. Count goes to 1-1. Still down by 2. Even just getting in that runner from second would be so big in a situation like this. If you're able to bring him home, trimming that lead to 1, could be big for them, just going into the 8th inning. If you're able to get that other runner, if you're going to get that next run across, being down 1 as opposed to being down 2, just feels like such a different ballgame. Obviously it is, box score wise, it's double the amount of runs you'd be down by, but even just like the feeling in that dugout, having to only push 1 across. You can manufacture 1 run with small ball, with 2 it's a little bit harder. So you're able to take some of those chances with the sacrifice bunt or the sac flies or things like that, but all that's obviously got to start with getting that first runner home. Siegel, though, putting up a good fight so far. 3 balls and 1 strike on the lefty.
Giants, as they cut this game to 9-8, like you said, that 1 run, you're always at the plate. You're always alive if you're just down 1 run. So definitely that forward momentum and that different mentality. Sacrifices on the table as well. Then obviously now right here in this 2-out opportunity, but Gaithersburg can just try to claw their way back and make it as close as they possibly can.
Confident take there from Siegel, so he works his first walk of the night. Ryan Stranad already worked a walk on his slate so far in this contest. Stranad, the catcher, now going to step in. A big spot now just got even bigger. Stranad representing the go-ahead run, tying run on first. Strike on the first pitch he sees, so down 0-1 to begin this at-bat.
Stranad certainly swinging for the fences. Hard chop on the first pitch he sees.
They're going to stay within yourself here. Short to the ball, get a pitch you like. Take it. Lechtenberg trying to bring that one back in, but not fooling the umpire behind the plate. Called for a ball, just missed a click or 2 on the outer half, so the frame drop just not enough. Second straight night, some premature July 4th fireworks Love to see some fireworks by Gaithersburg here. One big swing from Strnad could flip this game on its head, so maybe the fireworks an omen for things to come.
See if Strnad can match that loud boom with the crack of his bat. Would certainly fire up the crowd here at Criswell Automotive Field.
2 balls and 1 strike. That one also in the dirt. Vacar on the verge of walking his 2nd straight batter.
Would send the bases full as well. Set up a really unique opportunity for Powell to step up to bat at if he had bases loaded with 2 outs.
That one fouled back. Count will run full. So biggest pitch of the night. Both runners likely to be taking off here on the pitch. They go. This one grounded. Swinging bunt, dying in the grass. No throw at first. However, the fake throw gets Phillips. How about the high IQ play from Miles Prusak?
That's really tough there. If you're Phillips, you jump off the bag just a little too anxious to try to get that one home. Ends up retiring the side. But like you said, some smart, savvy baseball there from Prusak to have a fake throw and help his team escape with still a 2-run lead.
Talk about a momentum shift. What could have been bases loaded with still 2 outs. And Drew Jordan, or Logan Powell heading up to the plate instead. The inning ends. Giants still down 2. We'll break that play down more in a little bit, but we head to the 8th. New pitcher on the mound in Garrett Smith. More breakdown of that last play and of the Giants' new arm when we come back on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. The sporadic fireworks serenade us into this 8th inning. Talking more about that last play that we saw. Strnad, 1st and 2nd, full count, 2 outs, down by 2, gets the swinging bunt. Just comes to a full stop in the grass. No play for the 3rd baseman, Miles Prusak. But taking advantage of the aggressiveness, makes a really aggressive pump fake throw over to first, able to get Aiden Phillips leaking off the bag over there at 3rd, and then comes right back over to him. gets the throw. Phillips tried to get in the way of it, so some savvy base running there, but the good throw able to wrap it around him was Prusek and finish him off for the out. So Giants, what could have been a good opportunity to at least get closer into the game, comes up short. And they now dig deeper into their bullpen with Garrett Smith, the sophomore right-hander, 2.35 ERA across 5 appearances in 7 2/3 innings. So looking to keep this game where it is. Allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. So good year for the right-hander. Not a big whiff threat, obviously, with that velocity. Just sitting in the high 70s to low 80s. Not going to blow anybody away, but induced a lot of soft contact. Been an effective piece of this Giants bullpen. Would love for him to continue that here. Give the Giants 2 more opportunities to get back into this game. Good looking pitch on that one. And of course, as I mentioned, the low strikeout rate for Smith. He immediately proves me wrong, gets the little extra ride on that fastball, tails out of the zone, and gets Burkhoff swinging. So now Elijah Grant coming up, a guy that the Giants have seen far too much of tonight. 3 for 4, handful of stolen bases. Barely been able to keep him off the base path so far tonight with just that 1 out recorded. Smith will now try his hand at getting the dangerous leadoff man out. As his first pitch poured in there, looked good from up here, but the small stature of Grant.
Hard to find that strike zone.
Definitely. Especially on some of those late moving breaking ball pitches. You know, that late movement is good, but trying to come back into the zone can be an issue. Does get the roll over here, so turnip seed up and gunning. Obviously got to come up quick with that one, even though it's a routine out for most hitters, but
Grant makes routine outs look difficult. You know, the speed was there. He got to the bag quite quickly. Luckily, just routine enough to stay that way.
Yeah, definitely a guy that turns singles into doubles and turns ground balls into singles. So glad to retire him now, 3 for 5 on his day. The defensive wizard of the night now stepping into the box, Jackson Skro. Hasn't recorded a hit so far yet, but likely won't hear. Ground ball too short. Dominic Trujillo whips that one over. 1-2-3 inning for Garrett Smith. His strong season for the Giants continues. Wonder if he comes out for a second inning in the 9th, but either way, we head to the bottom half of the 8th. Giants trying to build on the momentum they created from the last inning, where they scored 2. 9-7 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Down to their last 6 outs. Logan Powell Once again with the fireworks picking up now in the background. Got the walk-in music bumping. We're dancing up here in the booth. Been a quiet night for the Giants so far. I shouldn't say quiet, but
I mean, 7 runs isn't quiet.
7 runs isn't quiet.
They put up enough of their own. You know, they fight themselves back in to hit down 9-7 here, headed into the bottom of the 8th. So they've put themselves in a position to try to attack themselves back into it. You know, you just got to get those bats going, get those guys on bases. And, you know, the guy at the plate, he's gotten on base a couple times, maybe a little bit of an unconventional way, but had to wear a couple, Logan Powell. But now he finds himself down under 0-2. He's going to have to really fight into it.
And Bakar really attacking him here. 2 pitches to the outside part. Definitely doesn't want to make him a hit-by-pitch victim for the 3rd time tonight. This one even further out, but that didn't have a chance at the zone. So 1-2 now for Powell. You mentioned the few hit-by-pitches tonight. Obviously, at the stage of the game, you're down to your last 6 outs. Really in a spot where you have to kind of just do whatever you can. You know, get on base. If it hurts you physically, you got to do it at this point. You got to get 2 runs across the board. Kind of comes down to that numbers game. You need 2 runs before you make 6 outs. Comes out to, you know, just trying to get guys on base. And Powell, the DH, primary catcher, have to wonder, though, if he does get on base, do we see a pinch runner? Do we see somebody come in, see what manager TJ Brockway and this Giants coaching staff prioritize? But you got to get on base first, and he's not going to do it there. Comes up empty. Good-looking breaking ball there from Bakar. Retires the first man he sees in the 8th. Delon Anderson now coming up, the 9-hole hitter from the Giants, looking to get something going now with 1 down.
Anderson, he's kind of been the only guy we haven't seen a lot. You know, part of the rally we saw earlier with what I called the party starter. He's been kind of buried in the bottom of this lineup. Would like to see him get some opportunity, a little bit of contact on his bat, start to get a feel of the ball. He's a piece that hasn't been really utilized by this Giants lineup today, so if he can be the one that gets that tying run at least to the plate, then it would be a really effective at-bat.
The Giant yet to reach base so far. One ball, 1 strike to the Giants center fielder. Bakar comes set, fires. Good pitch there in the dirt. Got Anderson lunging for that one. Trujillo looked to forget the count over there in the on-deck circle. Walked up, at least started to walk up like it was his turn to bat, but Anderson's still alive for now. That pitch a little bit too far in and down, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Very interested in kind of the fireworks that we've been hearing in the distance. Like, seems to be no rhyme or reason to how they're going. Just, you hear 1 every few minutes, then we're getting like 4 to 5 in a 10-second span, then nothing, so.
Yeah, I'm wondering, did they get some single shots out? You know, usually you're getting, you know, your classic 8 to 12 shots coming out of 1 box of fireworks. Might be rocking Roman candles out in the neighborhood, who knows, but also a little premature to be firing the fireworks this early.
Yes. Anderson works the walk, but I mean, you know, it could just be like, this is the layup line. Like, you got July 4th in a few days, but right now you're just out there, you're getting your reps up, you know, making sure everything works, kind of a pitcher going out there for the pregame bullpen, making sure the fastball's feeling good, get a few in there, make sure the changeup. You don't want to waste your whole arsenal, you just want to get a few in there of each different thing. Make sure you got everything working on the night before you get to the big day. So
you know, you just got to let them know. You know, see what the show is. It's a little bit of preview. Everyone needs some commercials to boost their actual main show come this weekend. Speaking of which, you got any fun plans for the 4th?
Just hanging out with the family. You know, just got some fireworks near us. Just gonna hang out, probably toss something on the grill, have a good day, and just, you know, we toss on some soccer as we wait for the day. Obviously not the real American sport. Obviously, we're going to have some baseball on the TV as well. But, yeah, just hanging out, doing normal 4th of July stuff. What about you?
You know, got to hold it down for the Big 250. Sounds like some great plans for you. Heading down to St. Michael's. We'll get out on the boat and get some meat on the grill as well. You know, hamburgers, hot dogs, nothing better than that. And might head over to the PLL All-Star game. It's in Annapolis.
Okay.
I am a big lacrosse guy, so I gotta hold it down with my patriotism. The PLL All-Star game is Sunday, so might go over to the Naval Academy. That just feels like a nice patriotic thing.
Oh, God, well, a big question though: will fireworks be launched from the boat?
Not from the boat. I think the boat is more. We'll let the pros do that, and we'll just pull up and stay a safe distance away.
Gotta say, a little bit disappointed. Was hoping for a yes there.
If my dad let me have my way, we might strap one to the top, maybe hit a little donut and spin it around. But
just gotta get some sparklers out there. Gotta get something going. But
I don't know. I think my parents are tuned in, so I might be grounded when I get back.
Well, if your parents are indeed tuned in, just know I didn't mean I'm not promoting any dangerous activities on my
for the people at home, little you and I are trained professionals. We can handle fireworks. We're both licensed, ready to do it. We're professional broadcasters and fireworks setters.
Fireworks certified, forklift certified.
Oh, absolutely forklift certified. That's the number one. I like to show that badge off.
Put me behind a Bobcat, oh boy, it's gonna get dangerous, but speaking of getting dangerous, we'd love for a big swing here from Dominic Trujillo. Lets that one tail out of the zone. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Obviously, some of these later games getting a bit off topic, but with the 4th just around the corner, who wouldn't want to talk about some fireworks, maybe fireworks in the distance, talking about it on the broadcast, could get some life injected and some fireworks here on the field for the Giants offense. As you know what, speaking into existence, maybe. And spoken into existence a little bit too early. A shot into left center field. Trujillo can't believe that one didn't result in a hit. Hard hit right off the barrel, but a diving grab. And Daniel McGinnis immediately making me eat my words. There's 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Just hit a tad too hard there, and I know that sounds crazy, but it was a well-hit ball. But if it drops, a foot in front of it, Trujillo has himself right there on base. But now you find yourself with your Gaithersburg. It's 2 outs. That tying run is still at the plate, so always still alive. It just takes 1 pitch from there.
1 pitch right after this into short center field. Jackson Scrow, vacuum over there at shortstop, gets out to that one. Interesting to see the shortstop call off a speedy center fielder like Elijah Grant, but he does in this instance, and it works. So catches that one, ends the inning. Giants 3 outs to go. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Garrett Smith looking to post another 0. Back in a moment on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. So Giants unable to shorten the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the 9th now as the music from prime Justin Bieber continuing to get things going.
I'm glad you referenced that because I was making sure to bring it up. I have a little bit of Bieber fever right now myself,
It hit me a few months ago, saw him in that concert playing that song, heard that old Justin Bieber voice, got me feeling feeling back to those vibes. Would love to see some of those vibes hit the Giants, put up a scoreless inning here. Mount a comeback in the bottom half of the inning, so.
Absolutely. Those Beaver Fever vibes could definitely lift the team to victory if needed. It's going to take some work here, though. Smith on the mound's got to put him down, try not to let up any more runs, and get his boys back up to bat with only a 2-run deficit to climb out of. Key piece of defensive work coming here for the Giants.
Fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Garrett Smith been consistently effective so far this season. Just the fastball not getting up anywhere past kind of that low 80s mark, but done enough with timing his pitches, sequencing, putting the ball where it needs to go, really just throwing some hitters off. So looking to continue that success tonight.
Quick change of a scuffed ball there from Garrett Smith. For those watching at home, that wasn't some crazy lop thrown in ball.
Strike 3 swinging, so blows that fastball by him. First strikeout of the inning for Garrett Smith.
Got the velocity there. Had to make sure he got the right ball in his hands, and I think he did indeed. Looks like Shernow got him just the right piece of work to go play with.
Definitely, we now head to the number 4 hitter in the lineup, Daniel McGinnis, the right-hander. 2 for 4 on his night. Swings and misses. That one just dove on that one. Smith gears up, chucks that one away, so.
It's going quite quiet here out in Gaithersburg. Everyone locked in on the end of this game. Looks like all the kids have stopped their playing on the side fields.
Yeah, fireworks toned down. Jordan, long throw, made that one look easy, so showing off the arm a little bit over there. From Jordan, Garrett Smith, quick 2 outs here.
Impressive stretch there from Aiden Phillips as well, leaning out. First baseman showing off. He can still do it out there on the corner.
Yeah, the versatility from Smith, seen him succeed over there at third base when he's been given the chance. Obviously, primary first baseman, that bigger frame and everything, but definitely 0 for 3 on the night, but like what I've seen from Drew Jordan defensively, a guy that hasn't gotten many chances, many innings on this season tonight, made all the plays over there at third, but more than that, just looks comfortable doing it. Just a play like that, you know, some guys could rush, kind of get too in their head about what's going on. Not him, though. Sits on that one, just fields it cleanly. Long throw, takes his time, trusts his arm, makes another nice play. So,
yeah, absolutely. Doesn't let himself get flustered whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Giants find themselves a little bit of life. No base runners, 2 outs so far. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but Garrett Smith doing everything he can to try to give his guys a chance, as might be the 4th broadcaster jinx of the night.
I think 4th might be playing a very conservative. Like, double digits is definitely in the cards here. I mean, we're up there for sure. It's been more than a few different times, so at this point, we're probably better if we just stop talking entirely. But anyway,
we'll continue it out through it. But the hit by pitch there, still, you don't want to worry too much. You got the 2 outs already for Garrett Smith. Once again, you just got to wheel and deal it to the guy that's at the plate.
Yeah, especially if you were to hit somebody, it would probably be Matthew Pazak. Had the home run earlier tonight with that big swing. 2 for 4. Now, obviously, Larson 2 for 4. 3 straight guys with 2 hits, all 4, 5, 6 hitters with 2 knocks on the night. So no real break in the opposing threat. But, you know, Pazak with that power potential, nobody on, definitely could big chance, not a big chance, but certainly a visible chance of adding a run just by himself. So one guy that just taking the bat out of his hands in any capacity, definitely not the worst idea in the world. Obviously not trying to insinuate that the hit by pitch was intentional, but still, so if you can get the out here, avoiding that bat. Oh, that one took a weird hop off the glove, off the chest, I should say, of Phillips. Phillips smacks himself with the glove, not too happy about that. Inning will continue. Unable to come up with that one, so Smith gonna have to do a little bit of extra heavy lifting now. Schraden Lechtenberg coming up for his 5th at-bat of the night. First and second, 2 men down.
Yeah, really interesting play there. Having to take that one off a really aggressive, weird hop. Just unfortunate series of events that now leads to 2 base runners when you're just chasing that elusive third out. Try to put this one away, and still a 2-run game. Let yourself go to the bottom of the 9th, 9-7, and try to battle it back in.
One tapped right into the dirt. So, second error of the night for the Giants. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Aces. 7 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Gaithersburg. Not the prettiest of games on either side, but to be fair, in a collegiate league it rarely is, so nothing too out of the ordinary. That pitch from Smith just misses the outside corner. Really good frame attempt there by Strnad, but umpire not buying the extra movement, so takes that outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Good looking off-speed pitch. A lot of late break to those secondary offerings by Smith. That one stayed on a straight line for seemingly 75 to 80% of the way there, then just took a hard left turn. Ended up at the inside corner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking to sit down Lechtenberg, give the Giants bats one more opportunity with the score where it is. Won't get the job done on that pitch though. A little bit inside and a little bit low.
Strnad had to corral that one, and luckily he did. With 2 guys out on the base path, putting anyone on third would be a really dangerous opportunity for Alexandria to try to extend their lead.
Yeah, Larson at first, definitely some good speed. Pazak, not the worst runner, but definitely solid, and a called strike 3. Lechtenberg talking to the umpire about whether that was on the swing or the pitch. Don't have full confirmation up here, but it doesn't really matter that much. So last gasp now for the Giants, 9-7 ball game. They've got 1 chance to try and tie this one up. Can they do it? Get the answer to that question when we come back for the bottom of the 9th on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Tensions rising now at Criswell Automotive Field at Kelly Park. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 scoreless frames from Garrett Smith out of the bullpen, keeping the Giants in this one. They've got Brady Ruiz-Weiss, Aiden Phillips, and Drew Jordan 3-4-5 as they take on the new reliever for the Aces, chasing 2 runs. Coming in for Alexandria, Brody Sean, the senior from High Point, 7 appearances, 1-1 record, 2.38 ERA, 11.1 innings, 6 hits, allowed 11 runs, but just 3 of them earned. First pitch of the 9th inning, a sky-high pop-up. Jackson Scrow, as he's done so many times tonight, reels that one with ease. 1 down.
I think we can say with confidence that will surrender the cycle attempt from Brady Ruiz-Weiss. Needed to go yard there to complete it, but nevertheless, great game from him. Starting with that triple to get this game open, first RBI for Gaithersburg, and then get himself that double and single, obviously, throughout the rest of the game.
The offense definitely come alive in spurts tonight. Still need that one last gasp to try and get back in this one. Phillips 3 hits on the night, so definitely where you would want to be lineup-wise. Ruiz-Weiss and Phillips both 3-for-4 coming into this inning. Obviously that pop-up making Ruiz-Weiss 3-for-5, but still, as you mentioned, great showing from him, even if they do come up short. Same thing with Phillips, but would love to make this a 4-hit game for the first baseman, really just get something started here. So,
yeah, with the tying run at the on-deck circle, you gotta get somebody on base and give yourself a chance at it.
Takes that one across for a strike. 19 strikeouts on the season so far for Sean. Definitely been somebody that has racked up the strikeouts. Had a few different walk-heavy outings so far, but overall have been very effective for this team. 3 balls and 1 strikes. It's definitely a spot now for Phillips, and really whoever comes up, just don't try and do too much, especially here for Phillips. Obviously can't tie the game in one swing, just focus on getting on base. But a carbon copy of Ruiz-Weiss. Jackson Scrow has now fielded the last 3 outs, all via the pop-up for the Aces. Giants down to their last out. Drew Jordan 0-for-3, looking to record his first hit of the night and of the season.
Scrow's done a little bit of it all defensively. We've seen him make those impressive plays across the ground, go into a knee. We've seen him catch the pop flies, which aren't guaranteed right now. We saw a couple of people get lost in the light. A few balls drop down into the grass, so Scrow being that steady, consistent piece so far of great fielding out there on the Alexandria shortstop.
That first pitch tailing low and away, so getting ahead in the count, 1-0 is Jordan. What a time for the first hit of your season this would be. Still, obviously, Giants got to get some stuff going, as I mentioned. With Phillips and Ruiz-Weiss, you got to get a guy on before you can even think about tying it with one swing. So just try and focus on getting that first base runner of the inning here. That pitch catching the outside for strike 1.
Yeah, really tough with still that tying run on the on-deck circle and that potential walk-off run still into that dugout. Gonna need to get a little bit of work here.
Ground ball over to second. This one should end it 4-3, and that'll be the game. So Giants put up 7 runs but come up short. Aces come away with the victory. Taking a look at the standings now, Giants fall to 10-14 on the night. They move to 7 games out of first. Aces now get back to 500, break a 2-game losing streak. Come within 5 games of the leading Southern Maryland Senators, so definitely a favorable result for them. Taking a look at the scores around the league, the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts taking down the DC Grays 14-2. Bethesda Big Train a 5-1 victory over the Senators. Top of the 8th inning currently. at South County High School, where the Metro South County Braves are up 9-6 on the Olney Crop Dusters. For the Giants going forward, tomorrow night they travel to Blair Stadium, 7 p.m. first pitch against the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. So next time we are in action here will be this Friday, but hopefully pick up a win or two over the next 2 days for the Giants. Some high heat over the next few days. Giants, as we officially turn the calendar over to July in just 2 hours from now, looking for a repeat of the July Giants from last season, but we'll have to wait at least 1 day with the loss tonight.
Yeah, the July Giants, they need that full calendar to turn over. Tomorrow's when that could start. It's that back half of the season starts to lock in. You know, you saw the Giants certainly have the potential to be a great team. With the 10 runs last night, you saw good run support tonight. It was just they lost a little bit defensively in the middle of the game, let up a few runs here and there. It's that big inning that they really need to start to avoid and lock in. And I think that they have the talent to do so. Certainly have a lot of guys that can put their bats behind the ball, and they've been racking in the runs the past 2 games. So it might just be a matter of coming alive and finding that consistency from your pitching staff and your bullpen that can help. And we talked about earlier in the broadcast, there's only 3 teams above 500 currently in this Cal Ripken League. So, climbing yourself in the standings and making the potential playoffs, that's not out of the question whatsoever. Nobody's really running away with it right now. And it's just a matter of time to get those bats moving and find yourself recovering.
Yeah, definitely great points all around. But that will be it for us tonight here. I've been Ian Harper, my broadcast partner, Colin Smith. Back in action this Friday will just be me on that broadcast. We'll see Colin back with us next week. Thank you all for tuning in to the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Tough loss for the Giants, hoping they can bounce back tomorrow night. Another good night of baseball on the horizon. Once again, thank you all for tuning in.